Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Iconic Video Games Podcast. I'm your host, Axel1324.
And I'm Doggy Dog 420.
That's right. As you can see, we are maidenless today.
Yes,
Doggy. So Death Dealer is out at a theme park, I think.
Yeah.
SeaWorld or something like that.
Yeah, I think.
With her family, and of course, the amazing Zelda is busy teaching children. So yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, that's how we are right now. So we're maidenless. So we invited a couple of our buddies, and they said yes, and then they said they might not show up or be late or something like that.
They'll be here.
They might be here. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's okay though. If they are or not, it's all right. Doesn't matter, doggy. We're still gonna have a good time.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Friday night. It's Iconic Video Games Podcast. Of course, we're gonna have a good time.
Absolutely. So doggy, buddy, what have you been playing this week?
Oh, let's see. I played a tiny bit of Devil May Cry 5 Special Edition.
Yeah.
Devil May Cry 5 is so great. I had to play through it again. You know, the Special Edition adds something to it. You get to play through there with Virgil. And, of course, a new set of achievements and all that good stuff. So, and it's enhanced for Xbox Series X. But I started Visions of Mana on Saturday. I believe, I got it Saturday. And I am 16 hours in now after playing what I played last night. And I love this game so much, man. I love this game. I love the combat. It's like Final Fantasy 16's combat, but on steroids. There's just so much more going on with that ring menu and the shortcuts and stuff, and your strategy. The story is great. I wouldn't get, but it throws you for a loop real fast. It's just the exploration's so fun. All the different things you got to do to build your guy up, they make it so fun. So I'm loving it. Like, I played it Monday because I was a day off. I played it for like 6, 8, 10 hours. I can't even remember. I played it forever on that day. I played it. So I love that game. Visions of Mana is cool. If you were a Secret of Mana fan back in the day, I didn't play any of the other Mana games, but I'm sure they're awesome too. But if you're a fan of that series, you're not going to get let down by this. It's great. The music, it's one of those games that like Death's Door, where you hear the music. Like today, I heard the music from the game in my head during the day.
Nice.
It's so good. So it's just one of those kind of games, So
all right. So Vision of Mana and Devil May Cry. All right.
Yep.
So I've been on vacation all week. So I've been
yeah,
I've been on vacation all week. So, I've been playing a lot of games this week. And so I have so what did I play all week long? I played a lot of Starfield. I'm not going to lie.
Okay.
I played a lot of Starfield, and I got on that Rev 8 vehicle, checking it out, trying to get used to it. It's so fun. And of course, yesterday we were looking. I was surprised how many hours I have into Starfield.
Oh yeah,
I got 120 hours into Starfield.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, 120 hours into Starfield. So yeah, nobody can tell me I don't like Starfield. I love that game.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited for the upcoming DLC.
That
space.
That vehicle, was it what you say? It's Rev 8. Is that what it's called? Rev 8, right?
Rev 8.
Okay. Does that do you get that for free, or do you have to use your in-game currency you had, or do you have to I saw some people buying currency to get it. Is that it's something you need to buy, purchase pretty much?
It costs 25,000 in-game credits.
Okay.
So it does cost money, but 25,000 in-game Starfield credits is, well, to me, it's pretty easy to come by, right?
Right.
Just grab a bunch of spacesuits from a bunch of dead people and their weapons, sell them, and before you know it, you have
in-game stuff. Oh, okay.
In-game stuff, not actual money, right?
Which either way would have been, whatever.
Now the mods to it, because I know people have been modding it into the Halo Warthog and the
Mako. I'm sure they've done a Mako. I would hope.
Yeah, they've done all kinds of stuff with it, right? So that stuff is cool. But then so I've been playing a lot of Starfield, checking that out, wanting to get into that, getting ready for that Shattered Space DLC coming out at the end of the month. I cannot wait for it.
Yeah.
But if you've been watching my YouTube, you noticed that I've been doing a lot of Sea of Stars shorts, because I told myself I am going to finish this game this week. I finished it on Wednesday, but I recorded a bunch of boss battles and stuff, and so that's what I'm uploading in shorts, right? And so that's what's going on with that. So I finished Sea of Stars, and it was good. I'll give it like an 8.5, right around there right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a really good game, right? Nothing wrong with it. 100% good. It took me 30 hours, 35 hours to beat.
Yeah, 35 is what you
Yeah,
saw.
35 hours. I did all the solstice shrines. There's only 5 of them, but I did them all, and I did the solstice challenge, which was kind of a pain in the butt. I'm not gonna lie. And then I beat the game, but then I found out a second ending comes up, and I'm like, nope, nope, nope. I'm just gonna watch it on YouTube, uninstall the game. I'm good to go. I'm done.
Right. Finding all those shells would have been a monumental task.
Yeah, you got to find all 60 of them, and I'm like, oh my god, I hate when things are tied to collectathons.
Yeah, I'm not sure how
I
many
hate
I had, but
collectathons.
I wasn't near close enough to be like, oh, I'm gonna go get the rest of those and go.
I think I cashed in like a total of 13 of them, and I never went back to cash in more because I don't care, right?
Right, yeah.
And so I'm just like, okay. But they have DLC that's free coming out.
Yeah.
I might reinstall it just to check out the DLC, but otherwise I'm done with Sea of Stars. But it was great. The music though, the music in Sea of Stars is top shelf. Like,
and it gets better as you go in, as you go.
God, it remixes its own songs over and over again.
Yeah.
They play a certain way during the daytime. They play a certain way in nighttime. The pirates play them a certain way. The soundtrack to Sea of Stars is top shelf. Like, I can't. The soundtrack is a 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it is.
Just putting that out there. The game and all that stuff. The story's good. The story's pretty darn good. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go 8.5. I'm gonna go 8.5 for sure on Sea of Stars. What would you give it, Doggy? You played it too.
Oh yeah, at least 8.5. I mean, I like the way you did puzzles in it. I love that combat. It was kind of like Super Mario RPG in a way, like where you could press the button at the right time to flex stuff or hit harder. The music, the story, the characters, even just all of it tied together so well for just being an indie JRPG. It was a throwback to the days old. I loved it. I mean, it was there wasn't anything about it. It didn't overstay its welcome. You didn't feel like you're walking around it aimlessly to figure out, for hours on end to figure out what to do. It was just a smooth, old school JRPG experience that, like I said, it didn't overstay its welcome. It was just fun for what it was. The combat was great. I loved it, man. It's just, man, the bosses were fun.
The combat was probably the story in the combat, the music. There's just so much to it. There's so many characters. It was crazy. But anyways, all right. So and then I loaded up. So I bought Expeditions, a Mud Runner game, right? I bought it when it was on sale. But then I saw that it came to Game Pass, and I'm like, sweet, I can be lazy now. I don't have to get up and put the disc in. So I played some Expeditions, Mud Runner game, loving it.
Yeah, I've always wanted to try one of those.
Oh man,
but they sound
definitely a certain flavor.
Yeah. So
if you like and it's part of they call it something sim. It's part of their sim division. So it's simulation division, but they gamified it a lot. And so that's what I played so far. Let's check in with the chat, see what they're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
By the way, chat, let us know what games you're playing. We love to hear what you guys have to say. Shout out to my beautiful wife, Louise V, and she's here. Thank you so much for being the MVP of my life. Love you so much. Let's see. Your Wicked Hot is here. Hey, what's going on? Your Wicked Hot, thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. John 907I is in the house. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. And he says, shame about the game. Do you know what he's talking about?
Shame about the game. LOL. Game.
Are you talking about Concord?
Okay. I
have no idea. I have no idea what game you're talking about, John.
A moment of silence.
Yeah.
Okay.
A moment of silence. We don't moments of silence dead games, bro. They're not people, they're games. Made by people.
We do like a little tin ring. Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm good. I'm good. Let's see. Yeah, even though some games are technically not dead, they've died in my heart. And I'll never play them again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, doggy?
Yeah.
But today's not all about that.
No,
Today
these
is
are-
about
these are not those.
1994, the year of our Lord. So 1994 was a fairly good year for Sega. When we were looking at these games, there was a lot of Sega games that came out in 94.
Yeah.
So Sega was firing on all cylinders at the end of the Genesis cycle, if I'm being honest. And so we're going to get started here with games from 1994. Now, some rules. These have to be console games released on the major platforms in 1994. So
In
we're
America.
not talking no 3DO releases. Screw that. Nobody had a 3DO. No
Whatever,
Philips CDI
dude.
releases. Screw that. Nobody had that.
Nobody had that one. Yeah, I give you that.
No Atari Lynx.
Yeah,
releases. Nobody had
no
that.
portables, no TurboGrafx 16.
No arcades.
Yeah, no arcades. Yeah, no arcades. Nothing against the arcades.
These are console releases,
consoles,
and in 1994 there's only two major consoles, and that is the SNES and the Sega Tower of Power, which was the Genesis, the 32X, and the Sega CD combined into one.
Yep.
Right. So yes. Shout out to Splendiferous. Thank you so much for being here. You're the real MVP. Appreciate you.
What is up, man?
He says, "Where is my Deathy Wethy? She is with her family at SeaWorld, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's SeaWorld. I think that's what it is."
Yeah. John 079 says, compared to the soundtrack, guys, it's like a Sega game for me. Are you talking about Sea of Stars? The soundtrack to Sea of Stars?
Compared to the soundtrack.
Yeah. I mean,
yeah, I'm not. Yeah.
All I could think of actually was when I was playing Sea of Stars. It invokes old school so well that I'm like, man, I would have loved to play this back in the Genesis games.
Oh yeah,
and he is saying this. Yeah, Sea of Stars should have been released in 1994. It would have won Game of the Year easily.
Oh yeah, I would have fit in perfectly in that era of games like that.
All right, so let's get to it, doggy. So of course we are gonna do this with our judgmental eyes. So we're gonna rank the games. We're going to rank them that, hey, they were great in 1994 and they're still great in 2024. They were great in 1994, but they would suck in 2024. In other words, great then, sucks now.
Yep.
And you know what? This sucked back then and it still sucks now. So that is the criteria. Are you ready, doggy?
Yes, I am ready.
All right, here we go. Let's see our first game.
And we're going to see, pretty much both of us have to give it a top tier to make the top tier then for now.
Yeah, how are we going to do this? Because normally we do this with 3 people, right?
Or we need to have
have a third person.
Some, like the chat. You guys just throw in what you think. And
I'll
just tally it up, if you don't feel like typing in a poll, we just let them type it in there.
I guess I can. Hold on, let me see here. Let me take this offline for a minute.
Yeah, if you want to put a poll in there and we can.
No, let me see if I can add. All right, add a row below. Okay.
So
I'm going to add a row below with a gray called waiting on one of our guys here. Waiting on Clown on Carlo and Fastback.
Yeah, there we go.
So so that's the new row we're getting in here. Let me put it on here. Oh yeah. Okay. Great. Ka-chow. Of course, chat. If you go in here, the chat might be in there. Yeah. Freaking John on the Sea of Stars sucks in 2024, bro. No, it doesn't, bro. No, it doesn't. Don't say that.
Joel's like, it sucked in 94 and it sucks now.
Oh my goodness. Splendifer says Black Ops 6 is out of this world. We are back, baby. Oh my god, I've been seeing a lot of those
that gameplay looks
people taking people hostage and like virtually assaulting them, right? It's so funny. I laugh so much watching those. I can't show them on my stream because these are. I tried to be a PG-13 stream, but yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, here we go.
All right. Yep. What we got?
Let's get it going.
Game one.
Game one in no particular order.
Number one. Yeah, no order. No order here.
Up first is Virtual Racing Deluxe. Now, Virtual Racing was released on both the Sega Genesis and the 32X and the Sega CD. Right?
Yeah.
So this thing was released everywhere. Was it released on CD? No, sorry.
It might not have been on the CD.
Sorry. I'm thinking the Saturn. And so a lot of people, though, will argue from the home ports, the 32X is the way to go. So that's the one we're putting on here, Virtual Racing Deluxe. So if you remember, this was probably the first true 3D racer in the arcades, Doggy.
Right.
Released it way back in like 1980 something, but not coming to the home until 1994. So Virtual Racing Deluxe on the 32X had 2 extra cars, 2 extra tracks.
Oh,
and the music on it sounds the best, according to a lot of people, even better than the Sega Saturn version.
Oh.
Because apparently the Sega Saturn version comes out in mono only, not stereo, whereas the 32X is in stereo. Okay. So yeah, so this is the 32X version. Looks way better than the Sega Genesis version, if I do say so myself. And I've always gone back and forth over which one is better, but I got to give it to this one because of the 2 extra cars and the 2 extra tracks. So Dougie, first off, did you ever play Virtual Racing?
On the 32X, I did not play it on the 32X.
Did you play it on the Genesis?
I played it on the Genesis, which was definitely not near as good as this, of course, but they tried on the Genesis version.
No, I mean, it's the same thing, just less. I don't know. All the polygons are kind of see through.
Right? Yeah. This does better. The arcade was awesome. I love the arcade, like it did come out in 85, like you said, but whatever,
Yeah.
It was fun. It was a blast to play. I actually bought this game on the Nintendo Switch of all things, because they have
Sega
Ages. So I bought it on the Nintendo Switch when it was on sale within the past 6 months. So it's the last Switch game I played, actually. So no, I love this. I love this game. It was fun in the arcades. Always fun. It was revolutionary at the time. Like it says, kind of one of the first kind of games like this, 3D using the polygons and all that kind of stuff. Racers, I believe, or if not, it was, one of my first experiences like that. Always remember it. Great arcade game. This is a great port here, but I didn't play it. But it's looking great. If it was better than the Saturn version, then hey, hats off. So
yeah. So
but I would have played this on anything.
Virtual Racing though, Doggy, you played it. You played it many different ways. Where would you put it?
Oh, well, it was definitely great back then. I don't know. Like, I still enjoyed it when I played it on the Switch. If we're counting that any kind of version,
right?
Because that's more of the arcade.
No, the Switch version did come out in 1994, Doggy.
Okay, so well then this version. It was great then, but it sucks now. It sucks now.
It's now.
Yeah.
All right. I actually am very blessed that I own all copies of Virtual Racing, all of them. I remember when Virtual Racing first came to say, first off, let me check it with the chat before it escapes. Hold on.
Okay.
Shout out to Legendary Yobi. Thank you so much for being here. Yobi. You are the real MVP. And Splendifer says, the best in the world, Call of Duty 2 vibes. Yes. Splendifer says Daytona USA vibes. Played the 3DO at that time. And shout out to Princess Zelda. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. She says, this is deluxe. It sure is.
Yeah,
it sure is.
Right, Princess Zelda. Yeah, it was just the 2 cars and the 2 tracks. I think that's
3 tracks, 3 cars and 3 tracks. Doggy, come on now.
Sucks then and now.
Splendifer says sucks then and sucks now. Princess Zelda, you know what? You are a panel member here. Where would you put Virtual Racing?
Yeah, there you go.
On this chart? You know what? Yeah. Where would you put it? Great in 94, great in 2024, great in 94, sucks in 24, or sucked in 94 and suck in 2024? Let us know, Princess Zelda.
I think I know where she's going with this.
Oh, I can 100% tell you where she's going to put this bad boy. So like I said, I was fortunate enough that I own every copy of this game. I own the Genesis version, which was $110 when it first came out.
Oh
Now
yeah,
you can
dude,
get it for $10.
it had some kind of weird chip in
Yeah,
it
it had
or
the
like,
SVG chip.
yeah, I didn't own that. It was original. Yeah, I didn't own that. No,
Yeah.
that was
Now you
too
can get it for
fresh.
like $10, right?
Oh,
And then I got the 32X version, of course. And I got to tell you, it's dang impressive. And the Saturn version, I was very disappointed with because I thought that the Saturn was going to emulate the arcade the closest. It didn't. It was like the furthest one. But then the Switch came out, and the Switch version actually basically took the 32X version and ported it over, which is awesome.
yeah,
So
it
so
looks
that's the
good,
one you
yeah.
played, doggy.
Okay, well then it looks really good. So
Yeah, of course they have res the graphics and all that crap, right?
right, yeah. No,
But yeah, no.
They did a good job with it.
But I gotta tell you, doggy, I play Forza Horizon these days, right?
Mm-hmm.
And as much as I like my virtual racing, and I do, outside of nostalgia value, it has no value to me because I'm not gonna. Outside of nostalgia, I can't tell people, "Hey, man, this game is gonna change your life. You should play this game. It's part of it. Your gaming experience is incomplete with this." I'm not gonna say that. No. So I'm gonna say it was great in '94 because it really was, but it sucks in 2024.
Yeah, I mean, that's really where it should stand. So.
All right, let's see. Did Princess Zelda vote? She vote suck then and sucks now.
Surprise, Kel surprise. Yeah.
Surprise. All right. So far, virtual racing. You know what, doggy? Can you take some notes?
Yes. Take some notes.
All right. So far, virtual racing gets 2 plus 2 plus 1 has 5.
Okay. So virtual racing.
Yeah, virtual racing
has 5 points.
5 points so far. 2, 2, and 1.
Okay. All right. 2, 2, and 1.
All right. And then we'll see when Carlo or Fastback get in.
Right. Yeah.
We'll get our fourth vote and decide where it finally goes.
All right. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Oh man, Princess Zelda, you're great. By the way, Princess Zelda, if you could jump in, I would truly.
Yeah, if you want to jump in, we're just doing games from 1994.
Yeah, no intermission time today.
Yeah, no intermission time. Just some console games.
Some fun.
Great console games from '94.
So. Yeah. We can split difference. You call that a praise? you call that you praise? Yeah, this game was great. Whatever you guys say.
They're heckling us. They're heckling us already on the first.
Oh man, I love it. That's why I decided to start with this game because I knew it was gonna. I knew it was gonna get the chat going.
We should put that one crazy game you had in there.
What crazy game was it?
That Zelda clone thing he was talking about.
Oh, Crusader.
Yeah.
Nah.
Maybe
I'm not ready for it.
Later.
I'm not ready.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, keep in mind any games from 1994 you want us to look at. At the end, if we haven't looked them over, we'll take a look at them, okay? But keep in mind some of those games. Let's move on to the next one. This next trash right here.
Oh,
from 1994.
What's this gonna be now?
I'm kidding. All right.
This will be something I like because you called it trash.
Here we go.
Okay.
Boom.
Oh.
NBA Jam.
Oh, look at the slowdown on it. No.
This is the Super Nintendo version. But this released everywhere in 1994. Super Nintendo, Sega CD, Sega Genesis, because it was in the arcade in 93. So, Doggy, take it away, NBA Jam. Tell us about it and tell us why you think it's great or sucks.
Oh, man. I mean, let's just be real. This was great. Like, okay. Man, I don't even know where to start with it. This game just like, I just remember how big the release was. Like, everybody wanted to play this at home. But yeah, I mean, from the digitized graphics to the over-the-top gameplay where you can no fouls, you can just shove people, the dunks that go out of the screen.
He's on fire.
Yeah, the commentator himself, exactly. Oh, what else? I mean, the graphics, the digitized graphics, if I didn't mention that, just everything about this was just fun. I love the 2-on-2, the few minutes, just real quick. Yeah, I mean, we played this. You'd have tournaments at your house every time people come over. You'd have tournaments playing this game, and it was fun to do because it was quick, fun, easy to pick up. You never really kind of had this rubber band effect to it. It seemed like you could never blow anybody out. Oh yeah, cool cheats. I guess you could put on tournament mode, and that would change that. There was also Big Heads. There was Mortal
was my favorite
Kombat
mode.
characters in there. Man, there was all kinds the ability to keep track of your own records by entering in your initials or whatever initials you wanted. This game at all is just so fun, and it is like I said, you keep track of everything. The home version had its own little season mode and stuff that kept it interesting. What a blast! And it was fun on all of them. I had it on the Super Nintendo and the Sega CD. And the Sega CD was awesome, of course, because it had the best sound and it's only downfall. Yep. Yeah, the only downfall with it was some loading times for stuff. I think it even loaded sometimes for the dunks. Like, it's weird. Loading was its only problem, but other than that, it was great. But all the versions were great. The Genesis one was awesome. It played like any Genesis sports game, played better than any of them. So, yeah, I loved it. I loved it. Michael Jordan won in the game. That was great too. I mean, everything about it was great. So, didn't have to put up with MJ. So, you couldn't go wrong with this game. Still one of the best, if not the best, basketball game franchise there is. And it's sad that it suffered the fate of death. It great now, great then, great forever and always. Up at the top.
All right, so Doggy's up top.
Yeah.
All right. So I remember playing this game for like a week. But I had a very good time playing it. Like, I remember turning on the fire cheat. I think, of course, back then I had my Game Genie, right? And I remember, like, everything. I always put games in Game Genie because I was just like, I want to see how much I can do, And I think, like, every time you got the ball, you were on fire. You could break the rim. Big head mode was fun. That's the only way I ever played this game was big head mode. Yeah. And then I would do what they're doing here, which is just passing like crazy just because I could. Like, I would go to shoot right here, and instead of shooting, I would pass. And then go to shoot again, pass. And then shoot again, pass. Just because I could, right? There's no fouls, as you said. And, of course, I played the Bulls because that was the hot team back in '94, right?
Boo. Oh, sorry.
And sorry. It was the Bulls and the Suns. Those were like the two
Suns, baby.
Teams.
Yeah. That's where it was at.
And so I just remember that all over the place, and it was just so fun. And this game is basically like NBA decided, like, how if we wanted to gamify the dunking tournament, how would we do it? And this is it right here.
Yeah.
Because there were so many dunks. I mean, once you were on fire, you could dunk from half court. Did you ever try that, Doggy?
Yeah, and there might have been a cheat even for that. Maybe was that what these guys are trying to say? But yeah, you could dunk from far ways away when you were on fire. At least the 3-point.
If you were on fire. Keyword here is on fire.
Yeah, and he'd do that somersault that would go way up out of the screen and stuff.
Oh yeah. Yeah. And then you come down and boom shakalaka. I remember that so much. That boom shakalaka. Yeah. Oh man.
Yeah.
So much fun. So much fun. Would I recommend this game today though? I know that NBA Jam re-released on the 360, I think.
Yeah, that was terrible. Yeah, that's sad what happened.
Yeah.
That's sad what happened.
I feel like this game just captured the magic in '94 and hasn't been able to repeat it. Right?
I could see that argument.
Because this game was like perfection. You don't need to add anything else to it to make it fun.
No.
Yeah.
No.
But would I play this game today is the main question. And you bet I would. Yeah. Yeah, you bet I would. Yeah, I would play this game again and have a good time. But, after like 10 minutes, I'd stop.
These ports were so good. They did such a good job with every port. All of them were good. The Genesis one, even the sound on the Genesis was pretty good. They did a real good job with this one. Unfortunately, it got bought up by EA, and the one on the 360 was called On Fire Edition.
And then they EA'd it, which was microtransaction day.
And I'm not sure if NBA would even let something like that even come out. And I guess they keep letting them Arcade 1-Up redo it the way it is. They're not like NFL.
That's right. Blitz. They had an Arcade 1-Up version, right, with the TE edition, tournament edition.
Yeah, and it stays the same, unlike the Blitz that they took all the late hits and the stuff out of. So I guess maybe that'd be cool if they could bring that back in its glory. But man, sometimes you just need, like you said, just leave it alone like it was. But I would definitely go back and play any of these console versions because they were all so good and they were so fun. They were so fun.
Ports were fun, and that's the important part. Princess Zelda, if you're still in the chat, what would you rate it? Help us finish ranking this one. All right, so far NBA
Yeah, we got
Jam 3
NBA
plus
Jam.
3. Doggy.
Yeah.
While I check
3.
in with the chat here. Here we go. Splendifer says NBA Jam is the GOAT. Legendary Yobi says NBA Jam on Fire Edition on Xbox 360 is amazing as well. Splendifer says, remembering we gave him the nostalgia. He's going half court dunks, fire codes, Bill Clinton, P Funk, Sal DeVeda, Air Dog, Power Up Turbo. Dunk codes are different than the fire code. Man, Splendifer is he is an NBA Jam guy. And he says, boo Bulls, boo Suns. Oh, who did you play as?
Yeah, who you got? Yeah.
And John 907, shout out to you. He says, yeah, the game was good fun. Absolutely.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, NBA Jam, Princess Zelda. Where would you put this game?
Yeah, where would you put?
Where would you put NBA Jam? Yeah. I'm so waiting for this. All right, so she put NBA Jam with a tear face on YouTube, but of course it doesn't show on my thing here. But where would you put it, Princess Zelda? Was it great then, great now? Was it great then, but sucks now, or would suck now, or it sucked back then and it sucks now? We're waiting to hear what you have to say. All right. Let's see what she got. She goes. Splendiferous was a Pacers guy.
Oh, come on. Rick Smits.
I'm not a basketball person, so
Rick Smits and Reggie Miller was probably the two players on.
Were the Nuggets in this? Did they even exist back
then?
Oh
yeah, the Nuggets were there. They probably had Robert Pack and Mutombo. Probably was the two players.
Did the Mavs exist back then?
Mavs were there. Probably Jason Kidd and Jim Jackson. Probably.
No, the Orlando Magic. That's right. They were big back then too. Yeah.
Hardaway and Shaq.
Yeah. Princess Zelda goes sucks and sucks. There you go. Sucks and sucks. So +1, doggy.
+1. All right. So we got 3, 3, and 1. So right now we got 7.
Yep. And now we put it in the waiting pile.
All right.
All right. Time to talk about.
We got a tough reviewer in the crowd.
Yeah. Yeah, it's all good. It's all good. She can say she.
Oh yeah, we're rating these by our opinion,
our feelings.
Our feelings, that kind of stuff. Yeah. So, yeah. Nope.
Yeah. All right. So it's time to talk about the best RPG of 1994, probably, or at least the best RPG on the Sega Genesis, and that's none other than Phantasy Star 4: End of the Millennium. Take it away, doggy. No, I'm just kidding. I know you haven't played this game.
Yeah, I played enough of it too. Yeah, Yeah, you take it away.
Oh my goodness. Splendifer says Zelda slander OMG. With all his explodey heads. It's so funny. Mind blown with the slander. So Princess Zelda would rather do chores than play NBA Jam.
She'd rather make some strawberry jam than
play NBA Jam, right?
Okay. All right. Hey.
All right, so Phantasy Star 4 on the Sega Genesis. So first off, Phantasy Star 2, 3, and 4 all released on the incredible Sega Genesis. First off, Phantasy Star 4 probably had the best soundtrack of all of them, right? It was phenomenal sound effects, phenomenal overall music, all that good stuff. It did something that if you weren't paying attention, if you didn't explore with it, you couldn't do. And that's that it had a macro mode. And the reason you would want to do macros is because there were combos where your people had to do certain things right after one another without letting the bad guy go. So you could macro it and do it all at once. And your people would put out combos. Now, you didn't need to do the combos to win the game. I'm just saying it was so cool to do combos. And a lot of people, I feel, missed out on them because they didn't want to program the macros. So that was super cool back then.
That is cool.
Was that it had a macro mode on it. Now, but you had to play this game with a pencil and a notebook because a lot of these spells, like Doggy, if I cast an earth spell, what do you think is going to happen?
It'd be like an earthquake or some rocks being thrown, or like something to do with the earth, with some kind of earth element, you know? Like
No,
like,
you're
what do you
totally
mean?
wrong,
Like
dude. No.
okay, okay, yeah, I'm sure I'm
Yeah,
wrong. Yeah.
it heals poison.
Okay, I
Okay.
mean,
All right, all right, all right,
okay,
all right.
okay.
Now, if you throw a spell called POI, what do you think it is?
POI?
Yeah, POI. Thinking it's poison, right?
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
there you go.
POI.
Okay,
Yeah, you would think it's poison. No, you're wrong.
okay.
No, no. It's it's a debuff. So the translation was lost in this game, right?
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, I get you,
For
yeah.
this, let me see if I can find some like right here, like okay, like air/earth. There it is, earth, right?
Right.
It's so funny because like a lot of these spells, like command. All right, so here you go, command macro run, right?
Mhm, mhm.
So that's pretty standard, but set fire miracle. Oh, yeah, you think miracle would be healing, right, doggy? Right?
Alright, okay.
No,
Yeah.
no, no. It's not. It's not that. It's summon fire.
I wouldn't have guessed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So
I mean, I'm
you
starting to
had,
figure out if I'm going to guess, go the opposite of what you think I'll
yeah,
bring somebody back to life, or
yeah. Okay, so
yeah,
like holy word, you think would be he brings someone back to life? It
yeah,
wasn't.
yeah.
So it's so funny. So you
But
had to play this game with like an
that's
in-game translator. That's probably the biggest weakness to this game. Is that I feel that whoever did the translation was like, I'm just gonna put in whatever. Screw those Americans, you know.
right.
So you had to memorize some of these combos because it was there. By the way, the debuffs on this game are totally worthless, 100% worthless. Don't use them. But that's probably the biggest negative to this game. The biggest positive to this game that I loved was, look at this. So you beat the boss, right? And then you go into story time, and it doesn't like comic book panels. And I love this comic book panel way of telling the story that is showing, like when a new character shows up, a new panel shows up, on top of another panel. It's so awesome. It's just, I mean, look at this. It's like a comic book panel. Like you're reading a comic book panel. This is a
That's pretty
great,
good. Yep.
a great way of telling the story. Loved it back then in 1994. Oh, but you want to know what else I love that existed in 1994?
What's that?
I love Princess Zelda. Shout out to Princess Zelda.
Oh my
Oh, thank
gosh!
you so much
Hey,
for
what
joining us,
up?
Princess
Hello,
Zelda.
Princess
Hello.
Hello. Hello.
She is here
Hello.
to restore order. She's here to restore order. To
Yeah,
the...
I
absolutely.
feel bad, like I'm throwing the vote.
Oh
No,
no!
it's all good.
No! This is yeah. You've done these rankings with this. It's
Yeah.
it's our feelings of the game. Yes. No.
Yeah, absolutely.
I like it. I like a tough reviewer. So
Yeah. You really gotta earn that top spot with
right.
Princess
Yeah.
Zelda. Yeah. Poor Drago.
Oh. That's hilarious.
So Fantasy Star, you also got vehicles in it, right? And you could get in fights while you were in the vehicle, and the vehicle you would actually use the vehicle guns, is what made it even better, right? So Fantasy Star to me, I still love this game. There's nothing wrong with it, absolutely not. So Fantasy Star 4 for me, for Axel, is great in 1994, great in 2024, and it only counts if you played it. But speaking of someone who's been here, shout out to Fastback. Fastback makes it. Woo! Fastback.
Wow.
What's going on, Fastback? Fastback is absent. All right, Fastback, he'll be back. I'll bring him back in when his camera's on or something. Okay. All right. Let me check in with the chat. Shout out to Titan Drago. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. Let's see.
The one and only.
Let's see what else is going. They're still talking basketball. Man, that basketball came out. And of course, my beautiful wife, she goes, Princess Zelda. Yay.
Hi.
Princess Zelda, did you play the incredible Fantasy Star 4?
No, not really, but it's space.
Yeah. And, yeah. Speaking of which,
I love
that's another
space,
thing.
So.
Yes. So it took place in the future, right? And you start off on one planet, but you also, here we go, you can travel to other planets. How cool is that?
So
back in 1994.
So it took place in the future, like 2005.
Like 2024 or something like that. In the year
20XX.
20XX.
Yep, there you go. I think that's what it was.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, Doggy, did you play Fantasy Star 4?
Man, I rented Fantasy Stars, but I didn't play any of them enough to really like throw my vote in on it. So, no, I don't think anybody could describe the game. Like you described it pretty good. So, like, I didn't know you could do like those macros and stuff. That's pretty cool. Yeah, no, I never got far enough into any of them that I could really comment on. But I know I mean, I've never heard anybody that played through these say these stinks. So.
Yeah, no, this is why they consider the best RPG on the Genesis.
Wasn't this game super long? Like, wasn't this one of the longest RPGs back then?
Oh yes, oh yes. You better have 120 hours ready to go.
Okay, yeah.
It did random encounters, and there was like 10 steps per encounter. I mean, you weren't getting far. Oh, and if you notice, it doesn't have a mini map, so you better know where you're going. Look, no mini map.
There we go.
Yeah, well, that's cool. That's kind of the way stuff was. Kind of back then. Yeah. So that's pretty standard fare.
Yeah. There we go.
Fastback
is here. What's up, Fastback?
Yeah. How y'all doing? Been a while since I used this microphone, so my camera's not working though.
That's okay.
That's all right. That's all right.
Okay. As long as that microphone's working and we can hear you, that is all
cool.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. Fastback, did you play Phantasy Star 4?
I think so. I'm not sure.
All right.
Looks like I did. I played so many.
So that doesn't count.
It was that memorable.
Yeah. Sorry. I played so many games back then. I couldn't.
Yeah. No. This game has
right. Fastback. Yeah. That's something too. Like sometimes you forget if you.
Yeah.
I know you played the Final Fantasies, but
yeah.
Whoa. It's a kid show, sir. All right. So rules are rules, doggy. Rules are rules. If no one else has played it, it stays where it is.
Oh no. Yeah. We can't speak on it. Yeah. So
that's right.
Up. Yep.
It stays up.
All right, now we catch Fastback up on his point.
All right, so Fastback, Virtual Racing. Did you play Virtual Racing?
Yes.
Okay, so Virtual Racing, real quick, just so we don't spend too much time on it. Would you rate it great in 1994? Great in 2024? Like great back then, still great now? Great in 1994, but it would suck now, or it sucked back then and it still sucks now?
Better in 94.
All right, great in 94, but what's the second phrase?
Now, nah.
Now,
sucks now. So another 2. All right.
So that brings our total votes up to where we at, doggy?
We got 7 points for virtual racing.
7 points for virtual racing. Oh,
yeah.
I didn't bring up my calculator. Hold on. All right, so 7 divided 3. That's a total of 2.3. It didn't make it, so it stays in the great in 94, but sucks in 24.
And then then we got NBA Jam.
And then NBA Jam, Fastback, where would you put that one?
I would put it great then and great now.
All right.
You can't go wrong with NBA Jam.
All right, so
we got 10 points.
How many points does NBA Jam have?
10 points. We got 10 points.
He's up by
that gives it a 3 point. That gives it a 3.3. It gets up there. Woo!
All right. Okay.
That's right. All right. So 2 games so far are great in 94, great in 2004. Absolutely amazing. Love it. All right.
I'm glad I can help.
Before we lose Princess Zelda, I want to do her game. Hold on. Because I thought specifically of Princess Zelda when this game was here. All right, Princess Zelda, you ready to talk about this game?
I'm ready.
All right. Talk to us about this amazing release in 1994 called Donkey Kong Country.
Donkey Kong Country? Great then, great now. Are you kidding me? I love this game.
I knew you would.
This game is awesome. It's just, I love the characters. I love, it's just like enjoyable. It's like when you need to relax it. Well, it is a little stressful, but when you just want to have fun, this is where you go. Then and now. Great.
Great. All right. So, Princess Zelda puts it all the way up top. Fastback, you're a guest of honor. Where would you put Donkey Kong and why?
We'll do it great then and great now because, again, like Princess Zelda, it's one of the great Nintendo games, and you just still have fun no matter how long. Can't go wrong with that.
Well said.
All right. Right there it
what
stays.
She said. No.
Donkey Kong Country.
Let's see. Considering we got a 1 on the NBA Jam, Doggy's a little bit more mad. He's like, no, I'm just kidding. No, No, I remember the big deal about this game, like just the graphics, like at the time these were like the best graphics on the Super Nintendo. Like what they were doing with this was so great. Gameplay was fun, good game. If I remember correctly, it was pretty tough though. A little frustrating. Still fun. I mean, I can't really fault it. It's like I said, it just plenty good here. Good gameplay, good graphics. You know, I don't know.
Where would you put it, doggy?
But the problem is with this is it was great then, but this puppy sucks right now, man. I'm not going back. I'm not going back to this. I mean, you gotta be kidding me, man. I mean,
all right, 3 plus 2. Oh man, I'm the timer. I'm the deciding vote now. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. So this game was so good back then that it inspired 2 sequels. Count them 2, doggy, 2.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. And I don't know if you played this little game called Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze.
I haven't played the
right?
Freeze
Right?
one, no.
Princess Zelda, have you played Tropical Freeze?
Yes, I have, and it's awesome.
It plays almost exactly like this, right? Not
It's
much has
awesome.
changed. Yeah.
Yes.
It plays just like this. So obviously the gameplay holds up. The gameplay
Evidence.
holds up. I'm gonna have to disagree with you, buddy. I am gonna put it up top. Great then, great now.
Hey, that's hey, I understand. I haven't played the freeze or the refreeze or the refreeze or any of the 3 or 4 times that we brought it out. So, but no, Donkey Kong Country was a great game.
It was.
Yeah,
It
and like I
still
said,
is.
the graphics at the time were phenomenal. Like when you saw that, it's
Mhm.
man. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and playing these re-releases now with widescreen support, even better.
Mhm.
So,
that's our top point getter with 11 points.
that's right. And Splendifer says it's one of the goats.
He's not wrong.
Ty Drago says he's never beaten it. Unbelievable.
Stop, right. Wasn't that game? Yeah, wasn't that game kind of a little tricky, right? What a little different.
Oh, it was difficult. No doubt about it. Yeah. John 907 John 907I says, decent then, hell no now. Sorry, Princess Zelda.
Bam, John,
Man.
bro.
All right,
Bro,
so it got 10
it
points. 10 points, which gives it a 3.3, so it stays up. It stays up. All right, let's move it right along, shall we?
All right, yeah.
All right, so up next is this little fighting game you might have heard of, Fastback, called Mortal Kombat 2. Fastback?
Yeah.
Yeah. Talk to us about Mortal Kombat 2.
Well, I mean, when this came out, I remember playing it a lot at the arcade when it came out to the, local convenience store. So putting a lot of quarters on this. My brother was better on this than I was. So,
right. But we're talking about console versions. Arcade version, obviously.
Yeah. I mean, I only played it. Yes, I had it on Nintendo.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I agreed that it was better on the Sega because of the blood. It probably looked a little better, but yeah, no, it was great. Especially that played this at home. Like I said, when I first played it was on arcade, and then we were able to play it at home and actually try to get better, learn all the final.
Yeah, fatalities.
Yeah, fatalities. Yeah, my brother he was better at that than I was, so he'd always got me at the end. So
Nice.
Definitely great then and great now.
Mortal Kombat 2 starts off strong. Where's Mortal Kombat? There it is. Mortal Kombat starts off strong. Princess Zelda, Mortal Kombat 2.
I agree with Fastback. So I was 15, so this is one of the first intense, violent games that I ever played. And the best thing ever was to get those fatalities, especially on a sibling. There was nothing greater. So I love the characters. I love the the battles, and the fatalities are still whenever a new Mortal Kombat comes out, everybody wants to see the fatalities. It's such a cool game. Great then, great now.
Great then, great now. All right. Hold on. It stays right there. All right. So I'm gonna be real honest with you. Mortal Kombat 2 is my least favorite of the Mortal Kombats.
Oh man!
Of the original trilogy, I should say. Right? Mortal Kombat 1 was great because it introduced stuff. Mortal Kombat 2 should have been great, but there's a cheat code that was active in all of them that never got fixed, and that was just start sweeping.
Yeah.
Just start sweeping anybody.
The
Doesn't
cheap
matter who it
sweep,
is.
it was kind of
You want to win on this? You got to sweep. As a matter of fact, I played my little brother on this on the arcade 1-up that he has. He was beating me. I started sweeping him. Why? Because I could. Because I knew. Right, and that took a lot away from me.
bicycle kick him.
Yeah.
You were like 10. Weren't you like 10?
No, I'm just saying. Like now, we played it on an arcade 1-up.
Oh, okay.
You know, and he was
Yeah.
beating me, and then I just started sweeping him, and I ended up winning.
Oh, it still works in that, but yeah,
Yeah.
you try to do that
Yeah.
stuff against the computer, and they'll show you that doesn't.
The computer will, but yeah, I think I did.
They'll
the
use it
sweep
on
too,
you, but
on my brother, and then he would get pissed off.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. I would spam the sweep, and to be honest, like it had cool stuff. It had cool new characters and stuff like that. But I feel out of all the Mortal Kombats that released, in that time frame, the 3 that I have on my Genesis, 1, 2, and 3, 2 was my least favorite. So I'm sorry to say, doggy, I feel that Mortal Kombat kind of sucked back then, and I still think it sucks now because they never fixed the sweeping.
Why
Yes.
Even the arcade 1-up version didn't fix it.
why are you apologizing to me? You got
Because I know how you are
vendetta
about Mortal
against
Kombat,
me?
bro. I know how you are.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you did
I-
that.
yeah.
There's no point apologizing.
We all know that you would 100% date Mortal Kombat if it was a woman.
Hey, hey, whatever, Gotta do what you gotta do,
All right, sorry. All right, take it away, doggy.
Okay, like as I remember the advertising campaign when these came to consoles, like, okay, as big as the NBA Jam was, man, Midway had some hits coming to console, and Acclaim was doing them, and I remember it was nothing will prepare you, right? And I really couldn't. And you know what was cool is this Mortal Kombat 2 was so big, Nintendo knew. They knew they had to put the blood and the fatalities in this, or it was going to cost them. They learned after the first one on the Genesis, and they had sweat. They knew better. So no, they put it in there. The Super Nintendo version looked phenomenal. I mean, it really did. It was a good looking game. The Genesis version was pretty close to that. I thought, what was crazy is how good they did with the Sega Genesis version, but it was missing a lot, like of the voices. I don't even think it even said fight in the beginning. I just think it just flashed. I might be wrong about that, but it was missing stuff. But all of these home console versions, they did such a great job. But it was so cool having the so good looking version on the Super Nintendo, having the fatalities looking as good as it can. And of course, you had the Genesis version with the 6-button pad playing better than any of the versions, because that's the way Sega Genesis was. All their games played better, had the better pad, just the way it was. You know that. We all know that. We can all agree with that. No, this game was huge back then. It was fun. I don't care who I was sweeping to beat a bunch of times. It didn't matter to me. I was doing it. It didn't matter as long as I was getting that fatality off, having a good time. And it was Miss Mortal Kombat. And I can't, Mortal Kombat 2, the worst? Like,
the worst, doggy.
The worst,
I'd
man.
rather play Sub-Zero Chronicles than this.
You should have let Axel win, doggy.
That's one of the, that's one of the best MKs ever. Like, and shame on NetherRealm, WB, all this, for not, like, you always have these collections of the first 3, the trilogy. Where's it at on the new systems? It just got delisted off of Xbox 360. So it's time. It's money grab. Get over here. Get over here.
Doggy's
Take
money.
my money. Because, put it on there. So now it's great.
Doggy,
Great
where
then.
would you put it?
Great now. Great forever. You know where it goes. So, yeah.
So that's 3 great. So it goes up there.
All right.
Yeah.
So
Jacob
add it up,
would-
doggy, 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1, because we still, if Carlo comes in, we gotta read. I hope you've been keeping scores,
Oh, yeah.
because we gotta put
Princess
these scores.
Zelda and Fastback both gave it greats now and then.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So we got 3, 3, 1, and 3. So we got
Yes.
10. All right. Yep. I got all our scores. We're through 5 games. And
Absolutely.
Donkey Kong has 11 so far as the highest game.
Yeah, and Fantasy Star has 3 because it only has 1 vote.
Yeah, and Fantasy Star has 3. Yeah.
All right, let's talk about I put this game in here in case Death Dealer was here today.
Oh,
You know what? She's supposed to call in. Let me change.
Yeah, save
Here.
that one. Yeah, save that one for a little bit.
Which one do I want? You know what? Let's talk about an incredible game with the soundtrack from Michael Jackson, none other than Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now we combined them because both Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles came out in the same year.
Yeah.
So we combined them into one game. It's Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So of course, Sonic 3 being the first half and Sonic and Knuckles being the second half, and then you could combine them and replay the whole game as Knuckles if you wanted to. And man, I loved this game. I love that I got an extra Sonic in 1 year, and it did not let down. It did not let down at all. This game was so much fun. I love the fact that I could insert the cart into both my Sonic 2 and Sonic 3. Are you kidding me? I got 3 games for the price of one as a swan song, and at that it was the best looking one in my opinion, one of the best sounding ones, thanks to the incredible Michael Jackson, of course. And I just have so many good memories of this, like the snowboarding level. When Sonic and Knuckles came, you got an airplane level. The fact that the shields now were more than just the single force shield. You got the electric shield, you had the fire shield, the bubble shield. It was so cool. I feel that this game just encompassed everything that was great about Sonic and just took it to the next level. Literally, welcome to the next level. I couldn't get enough blast processing on this game.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah, and I would still play this game today with as much love as I did back then. So to me, Sonic and Knuckles was great in 1994 and great in 2024. Ladies first, Princess Zelda, where would you put it?
I completely agree with you. I don't think I've ever played a Sonic game that I didn't love. It's just fun. The characters, of course, are timeless. And like you said, the levels are fun to play. I totally agree. Great then, great now.
Yes. Somebody don't make her play Sonic 06. All right. And stays up here.
All right.
All right. Fastback.
I've always enjoyed a Sonic game. I never really played all of them or, much. But when I did play, I would say I've always had fun. It's like a Mario game. It's an icon. Mm-hmm. So it's great then and great now.
All right. And
can't go wrong with that.
It stays. So far, so good. Doggy, you writing all these down, buddy?
Yep, I sure am.
Right, Doggy.
Threes across the board so far.
Talk to us about Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have brought out a lot of good points about this, but yeah, this game, had so you could get Sonic 3 first, but I think the reason they brought out the expansion thing, that little Sonic and Knuckles, is because they couldn't fit the whole game on one cart. Like they had limitation problems, right? So that's how they fixed it. So when you got the Sonic and Knuckles add-on thing and you put Sonic 3 on top of it, you got the whole game and you were able to play with all the different characters and the different levels. And like you said, you could take your Sonic 2 cart and put it on there. And could you play as Knuckles in that? I can't remember. You could play as different characters. I can't remember how that
went. You could reload Knuckles and the Sonic 3. But if you just put Sonic and Knuckles in there by himself, you played as Sonic until you beat the game.
Okay.
And then it had a memory chip in there, and then you could play as Knuckles.
So it added replay value to other games that you had too. Yeah, like you all said, any Sonic game was fun. The soundtrack was amazing in this. The levels were great. Like you said, it just added just stepped it up another notch. So yeah, I've played this in the Sonic Origins collection they came out with not too long ago. So, and then still enjoyed it. So of course I'm going to put it as a great back then and a great now, because I still enjoyed it then. Or I still enjoyed it when I played it just a few months ago. So
yeah,
who's not going to enjoy it? Sonic, baby.
It's Sonic. That's right.
It's threes across the board. That is a big 12.
That's right. I think that's the highest rated game so far.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. So Sonic. Going back to Mortal Kombat. Sorry about this, guys. I forgot to read the Mortal Kombat. The graphics were pure cinema, film actions. Loved the art style in Mortal Kombat.
Oh,
John Donald 79 said he had Mortal Kombat on the 3DO. John Donald 79 also says that Axel started cheating early. It was built in. It was built in. Built in, my man.
Doesn't mean you had to use it.
Winning is winning, doggy. Help me out here.
Oh yeah. If it's coming down to it, I'm sweeping you a couple times to get that win.
That's
yeah,
right.
All
Winning is winning. Let's see. Shout out to Pink Pickles. Thank you so much for being here. You are
Hey.
the real MVP.
What's up, Pink Pickles?
Yes. Time Drago says he doesn't remember the difference on Sonic.
The Sonic games or Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, I have no idea. Sorry, Time. Let's see. Pink Pickle says, I missed your discussion, but Donkey Kong Country is my second favorite of all time game. Wow.
Oh, nice.
There you go. Lots
There you go.
Lots of happy people.
Well, it got some high praise from us too. So
let's see. Sonic was okay, but no comparison to the Mario games. First Sonic was decent.
There you go. Another
Wow.
Nintendo
Okay.
fan.
Okay.
hey,
And General
Hey,
oh man, he is tough. Decent back then, hell to the no now.
man, John,
He
come
is
on,
tough.
man.
He is
Calm
tough.
down, man.
We're gonna start calling him John 907 Metro UK.
I thought we was cool, bro. No, I'm just kidding.
And speaking of our last judge here to help us out, shout out to Carlo. Thank you so much for joining us, Carlo. I
What's
can't
up?
hear you. Hello,
What's up,
hello?
Carlo?
No, can't hear you. Sorry, bro. Sorry. Make sure your source is on the
Carlos here.
app. You have to make sure hit that little I don't even know that gear button and make sure that your source is
Yeah.
the same.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
it defaults to window whatever it thinks is defaulted on Windows. It won't automatically default to the real source.
Right. Yeah.
Doggy
hit
and I
that
have to
settings.
change our source quite often.
Yeah, hit that settings.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah.
Very echoey, yes.
Oh, echo. Ooh.
Echoey, but we can hear you.
Yeah, but it's okay. You know what? This isn't
It's
a
all right. It
professional
don't matter,
podcast.
man.
It's a
Yeah, it
fun
don't matter.
podcast.
It's
Doesn't
all
matter.
good. Yeah, you sound fine. It's
Yeah.
good.
Thank you so much for joining
yeah.
us.
So how you doing? How's it going, bro?
Yeah, Carlo.
Oh, he took off his headphones. There he goes. Hello.
Hello? I'm
Right,
gonna,
yeah.
I'm gonna try something real quick. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
No, can't
Guess
hear
I
you.
wasn't the only one having mic troubles.
No, can't hear you at all.
I had no idea what's going on with my camera either. I think my cats might have messed it up or something because it had fallen.
Yeah, this I found out that Restream is real picky with certain sources. Like if
It's been
you
a while
have
since I
Is
a bunch of
used one.
stuff,
Is this better?
it's about the same, but it's okay, man. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's good. Hey, man, it's good.
I can hear you.
Yeah, as long
Yeah,
as we
so-
hear you, I'm happy.
He sounds fine to me. Yeah, he sounds good.
Yes.
Yeah, I can hear you barely, but I can hear you. No, can't hear you now. Nothing.
Hello? Hello?
There we go. There we
Yeah,
go. Yeah,
perfect.
perfect right there.
We
Yeah.
can hear him. Can you hear us?
Yes.
All right. Yeah, that's perfect. You sound perfect right there. Yep. Yep.
All right. Yeah. If you use it like an outside program through Restream, it just messes up. I have no idea why. It has to go like direct. It's really weird. All right, Carlo, how you been, man?
Doing pretty good. I'm at my sister's house, so it's a different setup behind me. You can see.
Oh. Tell your family we say hi.
Will do.
All right. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Excited. Let's go.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've been watching the show, right? So we're rating games from 1994,
Actually,
and we're
we did.
rating them in one way. In other words, we loved it in 1994, and we would still love it in 2024. We loved them in 1994, but we think they would suck in 2024. Or they sucked in 1994 and they continue to suck now. And these were all the games that
Does
we're
he
waiting
know
until you guys got here. So
Oh,
I'm
can
just-
y'all
Yeah, we
hear
can
him?
get rid of that one. Yeah.
yeah, we'll get rid of it
okay.
in a bit. But you got some catching up to do, Carlo. You ready to give us some ratings?
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Oh, I'm going to be honest, guys. Sorry for
First-
my honesty.
Don't be sorry, be
Uh-oh.
honest. All right, NBA
No, yeah.
Jam's up first.
Yeah, be honest. Yeah.
That's great today and great then.
All right.
All right, and there we go. Now it's moving. Okay, so NBA Jam stays where it is.
All right. So I'll have your points here.
Yes.
Okay.
What was the points in NBA Jam, Dougie?
13 points for NBA Jam.
13. How many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? No?
Yep.
Yeah, 5
Yep.
of us. All right. So 3.25. Yeah, there we go. So it stays up here. Nice. All right. Let's see. Next game. Carlo, please tell me you played this. Did you ever play Fantasy Star 4?
I seen people play it, and I thought it sucked then, and I think it sucks now.
Wait, but did you play it?
Ow!
But did you play it?
I may have touched a controller or two and moved them for about 5 seconds and said, "Oh, this is crap."
That counts.
Oh my
That
god.
counts.
That's what I mean. I
That
read
counts.
it. I mean,
That counts, man. All right, Dougie, what's the score for Fantasy
So-
Star?
So it gets a 1, right?
Yeah, that's a 1.
That is 4
4.
for 2 people.
Divided by 2. It gets a 2.5.
2.
No. So Fantasy Star comes down.
Falls from grace. Get out of
Oh
here.
my gosh. Oh
Ah,
my gosh.
You're down here with virtual racing, which he didn't vote on yet.
Speaking of virtual racing, here you
Yeah.
go, Carlo. Talk to us about virtual racing. Did you play it?
I
Deluxe.
did. I played a lot of it.
All right, now this is the deluxe version. Did you play the 32X version, the Genesis version? Which one?
I had Genesis and 32X, so yes.
All
I
right, so
played
you
it.
know the difference. Okay. So on the 32X version, what did you think?
Sucked then, sucks now.
Oh!
Oh my gosh.
Oh!
Oh, oh my goodness. Oh,
Carlos
the
coming in
game
strong.
how many points is that?
8 points.
Woo!
That is a 1.6. Wow.
You're down there with
Virtual
F-Zero
racing goes
and-
down.
Eye to eye. I love it.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
That is on a special list there with F-Zero and well, I can't remember the other game.
Yeah,
that's
F-Zero
down there,
made
yeah.
it down there. Another one. Yeah,
Another
listen,
Nintendo
racing
game.
games are not doing good on these lists.
Another Nintendo game, yeah.
Because they're
Yeah.
not good.
Hey, now come on. Except for
All
Mario
right.
Kart. Mario Kart's one of the tops.
All right, Mortal Kombat 2, Carlo.
Yep, Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Oh man, I love this game. This is tough because I love this game, but you know we got to be honest, okay?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gotta
go
be
ahead.
honest.
Give your spiel.
It was fantastic back then, but today I don't think it holds up as much.
Oh, so
That's fair. All
he
right.
throws it in the middle with 2 points. Doggy, what's the total points?
So we got 9, 10, 12 points.
12 points. 12 points gives it a 2.4. It stays here. Oh,
Ooh,
me and
just
Carlo
good.
brought
Good
that one
slide.
down. Yeah, hold on. I got to celebrate like Princess Zelda. Yeah. No, I'm just kidding, Princess
Oh,
Zelda.
hey, no, yeah, hey, we just saw. Okay, all right.
It's still higher than
All
the
right.
racing game.
It is. It is.
I'm changing some of my votes here. I'm
Yeah.
getting mad.
All right, and of course, last but not least, right now is Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now we put Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles together as they released in the same year, and
Yeah,
they were technically supposed to be one game.
yeah, exactly.
So Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Did you play it, and where would you put it?
All right, I'm just watching a little gameplay now because I haven't played in a while. I did beat it back then.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I'm a sucker for platformers.
Oh, I want you to know this is our highest scoring game so far.
You can't sway his vote.
I am campaigning for Sonic.
You can't do that.
You know what? It needs a redo. It was great then, but it doesn't hold up as much today.
Gasp.
Say such things about such perfect gameplay. All right.
Now,
So
if
that
that was
brings
Super
it
Mario
down
Brothers
here.
3, we'd have a different conversation. Sorry, guys.
If it was what 3?
Super Mario Brothers 3.
Oh no, we don't talk about that one.
Mm.
Yeah.
Not
that's
in
right.
1994,
Mario
we're not.
Brothers. Say yeah, that was like, yeah.
Yeah,
I don't-
that was
yeah,
a
I don't
while
think
ago.
We did that year. Yeah, I don't think we did that.
All right, Doggy. So he put 2
We
points
got
on there.
14. We got 14 points for that one.
And it gets a
And-
3.5. You know what, Dougie? I think I did the math for Mortal Kombat wrong. Could you tell me the score for Mortal Kombat?
Mortal
again?
Kombat at 12 points.
That gives us a perfect 3, actually, so it stays up here. Yeah. Because
Good
what I do is I
ride, you
take us
Axel.
and I divide it, whatever points it gets by, n minus 1. So number of judges minus 1.
Oh, okay.
So if there's 5 of us, I divide it by 4.
Okay.
If there's 3 of us,
Um,
I divide it by 2.
He
So forth and
didn't
so on.
do. He didn't do Donkey Kong though.
You're right.
Oh, that's because it's already in
Did
the
I
right
close
spot.
Donkey
We're
Kong?
good.
Oh no, I just didn't add it to the Carlos list. All right, Donkey Kong Country, Carlos.
Perfect. It's a great game then and a great game now.
All right, Donkey Kong gets another 3 points. Doggy,
Yay.
So that's at 14 points as well.
3.5. All right, so it stays up there. Woo!
Right. Yeah.
There you
So
go.
Got
Let me put
four
these in.
more. 4 more.
Four more
games.
games. All right, now that we're all
Holy
caught up,
cow.
we can slow down, take a little time to catch up.
Little
to the
breather. What's the
beautiful.
chat? Is the chat? We caught up with the chat here.
Yeah, let me catch up with the
That's
chat. Hold on, I
such a-
got a lot of things to do. Hold on. Okay.
I know he's the host with the most there, man. I'm telling you, I don't know how he does it, man.
Yeah. Let's see. Let me see. Did
Never
the
host
chat say
podcast.
something good? Yo, Fastback, aka Slow Front. What? I don't understand that one.
Instead of fast back,
Oh.
it's slow front. You know,
Oh,
switching it
my
around.
goodness.
You know,
I'm always,
Fast as I
so-
heard that enough, man. I don't need to
I'm
hear
always
that
late to
stuff.
the game.
John 907I says, got Sonic free with my Mega Drive. Hell no.
I can't even hear
I got it
Axel.
free too, and I loved it.
Did it julienne carrots and or French fries and all that good stuff?
I guess. I'm unsure.
You know, could you wear it as a wig?
What?
Sonic, the Sonic games that come with the Sega Genesis.
No, what
Remember the commercial we played? Like we played that.
Oh
commercial.
yeah. It makes perfect potatoes and
Yeah,
stuff.
I mean,
Oh my gosh.
It
Yes, okay.
julienne's.
I got you now.
Yeah.
I got you now, doggy. It's truly the next level. All right, doggy, I'll let you start this one off.
Okay.
Talk to us about Final Fantasy 3/6
Ah, yeah, Final Fantasy 3.
on the Super Nintendo.
On the Super Nintendo, yeah, and this was the final like 2D sprite one, you know, which I don't know. Those are my favorite Final Fantasies, were the ones that were like this, with the battles that look like this, the top-down view. Just another great story. This was more in the time of technology and
yeah,
like
went
it-
to the
it kind
future.
kind of industrial revolution kind of feel to it, and technology, that kind of stuff. I was more of like the medieval fan of the other Final Fantasies before then, but that still didn't ruin this, man. Like, I don't know. I mean, just the characters were great in this. It had such a great story from the beginning all the way to the end. I mean, just other than Final Fantasy 2, which was Final Fantasy 4, so this is Final Fantasy 3, so this is 6. Other than Final Fantasy 2 on the Super Nintendo, this is my favorite Final Fantasy. I haven't played through it as near as many times as any other Final Fantasies, but I played through it a few times. Love it. I will play through this again on these Pixel remasters. I'm hoping they end up bringing them to Xbox, but if not, I'll end up playing it through on PlayStation, because that was next on my list, was this one. Yes, I love this game. This game was great back then. It's great now. It'd be great 10 years from now. Love these 2D Final Fantasy games. Always will. Always have a soft spot for them. So.
All right. So it starts off strong with 3 points. Princess Zelda, ladies first, as always.
Well, thank you. I entirely agree with Doggy Dog. Whenever I think of Final Fantasy, this is the format that I think of, and this is my favorite too. And I've always loved the music, and it is such a fun game to play. And actually, like you said, like I used to play them through, and then after this one, I stopped doing that.
Right.
Because it didn't have the same appeal to me. Because this, to me, is what Final Fantasy is, and so I agree. It was great then. It's great now.
Man, well said.
So this
well
one stays
said,
here.
man. That was
All right.
well said.
Fastback. Final Fantasy 3/6. No, Fastback. Fastback.
Slow front.
Slow front.
Yeah, slow front. There you go. You got
There you go. You got him on slow front.
Address him
Well, I still
correctly.
can't hear Axel. I don't know why.
Oh, there he is.
But I did not play this, but I played other Final Fantasies. But I always liked the turn-based style of the Final Fantasies. So I could play this at any time. So it was great then and great now.
All right, but he didn't play it, doggy, so don't write that down.
Woo.
Okay.
The rules are rules. Sorry, guys. By the way, guys, just in case let's go over some rules. You don't have to put a vote down if you didn't play the game, so don't try to fake it. But we love to hear your opinions. If you're still looking forward to it
Like
now,
we
like
gotta do
Fastback
later.
did, we totally would love to hear your opinion. Absolutely. Carlo, Final Fantasy 3. Carlo froze.
Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
Yes, I can hear you. Can't see you froze, but I see
Yes.
you.
I don't know what happened. But no, it sucked then and sucks now, and it will forever be sucky.
Wow. There you go. Tough Final Fantasy crowd. All right. So when I loaded up Final Fantasy 3, I played Final Fantasy 1. I loaded up Final Fantasy 2, but I didn't get very far in it because I'm like, oh, okay, whatever. It's just a sequel. And then I'm like, oh, Final Fantasy 3 got super high ratings, right? EGM was telling me to go play it. And so I went to go get it, and it started off on some mechs. in some
Right.
snow with a
Yeah.
long intro. It was super cinematic, so different.
Yeah, it
And I'm
was.
like, is this game in the future now? Like Final Fantasy 3 is like super future where it was? Because I didn't know that they were separate stories back then,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
And so I wasn't sure what was happening, and I played it. And then about maybe 5 years ago, I played it again. This time knowing what I know about Final Fantasy, that they're all standalone stories, nothing to do with one another, right? 100% understood the story now as an adult. Okay. So I feel like this one is backwards. Like it was complex as a kid, but awesome as an adult.
Wow.
Right. It,
Yeah.
It
So
did.
I feel that this one kind of sucked in 1994, but it's awesome now.
Wow.
So, but that's not an option. So I'm going to put this one as in, see it as it. I just was too young to understand it, but it was still great then, and it's great now.
All right.
And you are right. It was way more mature than like any of the first two, Final Fantasy 1 and 2, or like a
Mhm.
lot of games. That this, like, they were talking about like chemical warfare. They were
Mhm.
talking about like
Very adult themes.
teenage pregnancy in here. I mean, no, I mean, really. I mean, there was a mature theme thing, and like that was a good point. Like if you go back and play this now, you're going to get even more out of that story than you did as a
Mhm.
kid because you're going to understand the context. It was so much more mature. And like you said, yeah, it started out with those mechs walking across the snow, and it was telling that story as so it was different. And at first when I started playing, I thought, man, I'm not going to like this because it's not medieval, but as you get going, it grabs you just like the other
Yeah.
ones do. So, but yeah, it was a very,
Yeah.
like you said, it was a very mature take of a RPG at that. It was definitely more mature than Final Fantasy 2 and that kind of stuff. So,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
This one is great, and the music is probably the best out of the first original three, in my opinion. I know, Doggy, you hold two on a high level, but for me,
two. I can't argue. I love two. But yeah, Final Fantasy, like Princess Zelda said, they all have great music. So yeah, all Final Fantasy still do. Final Fantasy 16 had great music. So
absolutely.
you give it a 3.
So Doggy, yeah, I give it a 3. What are the points?
So you gave it a 3. So we've got 10 points from 4 people.
No, we should have everybody's voted, right?
No,
no,
Fastback
Fastback
didn't
didn't. Yeah.
Fastback could not vote.
Yeah.
No, I thought that. No.
No, Fastback did say it's great
Yeah, I
then and
said-
great now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh!
I just couldn't hear Axel back then. I had to go.
Yeah.
Okay, so Fastback gave it a 3. Yeah, Fastback gave it a 3. So we've got
13 points.
13 points. Yeah, 13 points.
It's still good. Still 3.25, so it stays up here.
Okay, cool.
Woo!
Sorry.
And all these lists look great in 1994. Look at Carlo. Oh no. So funny. All right, let's check in with the chat real quick.
Yeah.
Let's see. Shout out to the game complainers. Thank you so much for being here.
What's
You are
up?
the real MVP. He says 1994 was one of the best years in gaming. It was strong.
Yeah.
Every year is a great year in gaming if you really think
The
about
90s, yeah, the 90s
Yeah.
like got a lot.
it. Even
of-
current years are fantastic.
Yeah.
Like everybody's like, oh, this is a down year for gaming. Is it? Because I played a lot of great games this year.
This year in down here, man, I played
Yeah.
so many great games.
Yeah, right. John 079 says, not my bag, not then, and definitely not now. So he's in Carlos' team. Yeah. Let's see. Game Complainers wants us to do Castlevania Bloodlines. Shout out to Sour Blow from the Xbox International Podcast. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
You are
what's
the
up,
real
Sour
MVP. Appreciate you. Yes.
Great chat.
Let's
man.
see.
Yeah.
And Sour Blow says it was great then and it's great now. Love to hear what you guys have to say. Yeah, guys. But just like the Game Completer suggests the game, be sure you
Suggest some games. 94.
start
Yeah.
banking some games. And at the end of the show, when we're done doing our 10, if we can, we'll do some of the suggestions that you guys do. All right. So let's move it along here. Let's move it along. We're going to go with what is widely considered one of the greatest Metroidvanias. Actually, the reason why the term Metroidvania exists, called Super Metroid. First off, who all has played this game?
I have.
Princess Zelda Fastback. All right, Princess Zelda and Carlo. All right, Princess Zelda, take it away.
I love space.
It's so vast.
It's so vast. No, it was okay. So I don't know if there's really a category for that. Like, it wasn't something I'd want to keep playing over and over again. I thought it was okay then, and I wouldn't play it now.
All right, yeah, okay. So there's a category for that. It's called Great Then. Super Metroid. It's called Great Then, but it sucks in 2024 because you wouldn't play
Okay,
it.
then. I wouldn't say great then. I would say I wasn't mad I spent time on it.
Okay, then, and it sucks now. All right.
Yeah, that's where it goes.
All right. So 2 points, Dougie. Fastback. Metroid. Super Metroid.
I really loved playing these back then, especially with my brother. We'd take turns. But I haven't played one in a while. I would go with Great Then and Sucks Now because I can't really
All right.
can't really say it was great now.
So it goes right there. Carlo, you played it as well. Tell us about it.
That was one of the worst games I've ever played.
Oh,
And that was even with Game Genie, I thought it was bad.
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I think it sucked then and it sucks now. And I don't even know why they still carry on with the series.
Woo!
Oh my gosh. What?
Shots fired.
They're still
Oh my
trying.
gosh. Oh,
They're
so he
having
put it
trouble
sucked in and sucks now. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Dang. Dougie, did you play Super Metroid?
Man, I love this game. Like, this is like one of my favorite Super Nintendo games. Like, I love the. You know how Nintendo was? Like, it was just the perfect presentation of, like, okay, you can only get so far till you find this. Now you've got this, so now you can go explore this new thing, and now I've got this to explore. Oh, and now I can find this, like the morph ball or the grapple beam, and just, the way it presented all that. The story, the music, just the way it played, just everything about this was. I even remember like, going to the grocery store and they had like little clues and stuff on these popsicles or whatever, Super Metroid clues and stuff, and it told you where to find certain things or whatever, and that was cool back then, because you there was no internet or nothing, so you'd look for clues from anything you could get. You'd have
to eat your popsicle to get the clue.
Yeah, exactly. I can't remember if it was on the stick itself or it was like inside the box. I think it was inside the box, like just on the inside of the cardboard. But man, no, I played through like a bunch of times too. Definitely one of the games we owned. It was so fun to play through it. You could get different endings depending on how you went through it and stuff. Never got the best ending. I think the best ending you had to beat it in like 3 hours, so that definitely wasn't happening for me.
Yeah, well, you can see Zero Suit Samus basically.
Yeah, so yeah, there you go. Right. But as for a game that, oh my gosh, it was so great back then. It just takes you back just even seeing it, It's great then. And if I had like Nintendo Online, I'm sure this is on there. This would be one of the first ones I'd fire up, so I'd still say great now.
All right, Doggy shoots it up here.
Yeah, it's a great game.
All right, so I love the Metroidvanias. It's one of my favorite genres to play. Super Metroid is one of the reasons it exists. And what can I say that Doggy hasn't, man? But I can tell you right now that without the power without the Nintendo power, without the power, you weren't going to get far in this game. It was very confusing. I know it had a little mini map and stuff, right? But it was very confusing, and you had to really dedicate into this game. Like, this was going to be the only game you played for the whole year because it was that like deep.
Yeah,
which is a great thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is a great thing back, but so I think back then that was cool because I would only get like 2 games a year back then. So the fact that I got a game that kept me busy all year long with this awesome gameplay it has, why not? And I also love that even though your regular weapon had unlimited ammo, your special weapons didn't.
Right, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I also love that.
And the map, the little mini map thing, I don't think that was in the other Metroids.
But I can't see somebody playing this for a whole year trying to figure it out today. So I'm going to put it with great then, but it kind of would suck today because the genre has just moved forward so much. Thanks to this great innovative game. but I think it's
And that's such
it's
a good
not
point
good
because
today. It would need quality of life improvements on a remaster or something.
that is such a good point because this is one of the games that spawned that genre. I mean, this is that,
Yeah,
so
but the genre has moved forward so much.
and
Inspired
that's
a
a
lot
good
of
point.
Because I
That's
play
a
a lot
good
of
point.
Metrovanias.
That's a good point. I just think the reason that I would give it a still great today is just because I'd love to go back through it for the nostalgia. But I see your point. Like, there is a lot that this game doesn't do now that but Metrovanias aren't really like my top of the line, genre today. So, but no, I see that's a great point. So
Yeah.
yeah, loves.
All right,
loves
so
it.
how many points does it
We've
get,
got-
doggy?
We got 6, 9, 10. 10 points.
It gets a
5.
2.5. So it stays right where it is. Oh, Princess Zelda seems to be the fortune teller on these lists.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Let's see. Splendiferous loves Metroid. Sour Blow says Metroid is awesome. Oh wait, that's Carlo. We already had it here. The Game Complainer says Power Rangers Beavis and Butthead, Animaniacs, Demon Crest. Oh, there it is, doggy.
Demon Crest, there it is.
Sonic 3, Streets of Rage 3. I don't think
Yep.
that was 94. Lion
think
King,
so,
Maximum
yeah.
Carnage, Crusader of Senti. There you go. Star Trek: The
There it
Next
is.
Generation. Yep.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, you got 2 of the games in there.
Yeah.
We
All
never
classics
thought
from
anybody
1994.
Yeah.
John Arnold So Nice says, like Sonic, cool then, but a big hell no now. Absolutely love it. All right. Up next on our list. Oh, sorry. Let me close that. Oh man, I love this game. Up next on this game is a game where you absolutely needed the blast processing, and that is Contra Hardcore. So I'm going to start off on this game if that's okay, guys.
You go ahead.
Yeah. So this game was so fun because you had 4 different characters. This took place 5 years after the Alien Wars on the Super Nintendo, right? And so first off, the music was great. And you got a choice of 4 characters, and each character had their own weapon set. The weapons that were good for one character weren't going to exist for the next character, so there was no common weapon. So you had 4 different weapon sets with 4 different characters. That's a total of 16 different weapons, which is awesome. This game also was the most cinematic of the Contras with stories, and it also featured branching paths depending on how good, if you unlock things and did certain things during the level, or how good or bad you did not beat a boss. And it had different endings, multiple endings. So this game is awesome all the way around. Of course, my favorite person to play is the wolf, as I love dogs. But the wolf is like a melee only character, so he's like the hardest one to use. And the easiest one to use is the little robot. They don't show him here, but the little robot is the easiest one to use because he has like a boss eraser. Like it's just, he's broken when it comes to bosses, right? And I don't know. I loved this game all the way through and through. Played it hundreds of times. Would still play it today. It's great then, great now. Just watching this, I can hear the music. So for Contra Hardcore, I'm giving it a great in 1994, great in 2024. Princess Zelda, talk to us about your experience with Contra Hardcore.
So the original Contra is one of my favorite games as a kid, and I actually still play it to this day. But I have not played this one, and I'm filled with regret.
Yeah, this game is hard. I'm not gonna lie to you. It follows that whole Contra one hit dead thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the hardcores. Yeah, you definitely got to do some memorization on this one. Fastback, Contra Hardcore.
I had not played the hardcore, but I think I have it in the collection. I had the collection.
Oh yeah,
the Contra anniversary
Yeah,
collection or whatever
so,
that is. Yeah.
I haven't got to that yet, but I would. Yeah, no, I love Contras back then. Like like Princess Zelda. I played these when I was a kid with my brother, the original ones, and I would definitely enjoy this. Yeah,
Awesome.
I love shooting platformers. So
yes. And I mean, oh my gosh, just looking at this, I can hear every song that plays on this. That's how much I played this game.
What was Zelda? Zelda
so yeah, great then and great now.
No, it's not the Zelda song, doggy.
No, what was Princess Zelda's score?
Oh, she didn't.
Didn't play. Okay.
Didn't play. Yeah.
Fastback says 3. Gives it a 3.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry, Fastback. I didn't hear you. What did you give it?
I would say great then and great now.
Great then, great now.
Okay.
All right. Carlo, did you play hardcore?
I did.
And,
I did. You know what? This is what I gotta say. It sucks then and sucks now. And I'll tell you why though. I have a reason behind that. Okay, because the original Contra was so good that they should have really made some really big strides with this one, and it really didn't feel like a leap for Contra to me. Like it just felt like, hey, we're just gonna do the same thing on here. And if you look at the cars in this, and that one scene that you showed earlier, I question why do the cars look better in Street Fighter 2 than it does in this game on a generational leap. So sucks then and sucks now.
Oh my goodness! Are you sure? Are you sure about that, Carlo?
Absolutely, yeah.
The original.
All right.
This destroyed how great the original Contra was because it should have had a generational leap, and it didn't. It just didn't. It didn't feel like, hey, this is the next Contra. We're going to the Genesis. We're gonna do, blast process, and no, it just felt like
look at all these explosions. Those are blast processed explosions.
Right.
No,
look at this 3D right here. Look at this blast processed 3D right here.
That was one of the few 3D ones they did. Yeah, that's one.
That's like Space Harrier on the Sega Master System.
I love it. All right, so Carlo gives it a sucked at 94 and sucks at 2024. All right, Doggy, Contra Hardcore.
Man, actually, when you was talking about it, as you was talking about, you said somebody, it was cool. This is the first one you could pick 4 unique playable characters with their own set, like weapons and that kind of stuff. You said that, and you just have 4 different weapons. If you had the 6-button pad, if you use the X, Y, and Z buttons, he could stand still and move or something. While
you could stand still and shoot.
You could stand still and change it, and then the ABC, you could run while you were doing it, right? So that was pretty cool. This one featured cutscenes, which wasn't in anything before. Like
That's not right. Processed cutscenes.
Right, like not like F and V or anything like that. But it had cutscenes. Like you said, the branching storylines, the multiple endings, gave it replay value, and you had to love the invulnerable slide that they added in here, which was definitely needed in this game because this game was tough as nails, man. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. But they did a great job with it. Like I said, the music, it played fast, plenty of enemies on screen. Yeah. But what do I think? Yes, it was great back then. Do I still think it's great now? Hell yeah, it is, man. Hell yeah. I played it on that anniversary collection. It was great then. It's still whooping me. But you know what? I still love it. Whip me hard. I like it.
Oh, love it, Doggy. All right. So what did it score, Doggy?
All right. So we only have 4 people on this one, right?
4 people on this
one. So we had 3. So we had 10 points for 4 people.
10 divided by 3. It gets a 3.3. So it stays up here.
All right. Look at that.
Carlo tried to derail it, but he couldn't get it. You're not hardcore enough for this. I love it, Carlo. I love it. Thank you so much for being here, Carlo. I love your opinions, buddy.
Hey, I'm speaking from the heart and honesty. I'm just calling it as
there's no point in I mean, there's no point in
There's no need to placate anything here, man. You can say what you want. Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Let's see.
I think we're down, Charles.
Long live Mega Man.
Oh, Mega Man is amazing. Let's see. Okay. Game Complainer says Streets of Rage 3 was released March of 1994. I don't think so. Was it?
Oh, it might have been. It might have been 94. I mean, I could really I figured that probably was. It probably was because Streets of Rage 2 was in 92. So I would say, yeah, I'd say that definitely had to be right. That's yeah.
Yeah, it was released in July 1994. Huh. Wow. Yeah.
Okay.
Right
I
on.
mean, we'll throw it.
Yeah. Let me grab it. Hold on. I'm grabbing it now. Hold on.
I mean, you know what I feel about Streets of Rage series. So, I mean,
Yeah.
Gee,
Give
I
me 1
wonder-
second.
yeah, it was. There's a lot of stuff on the cutting room floor.
Yeah,
Right?
there's
We missed
a lot of
over.
stuff doesn't make
We
it. Trust me.
missed over like all kinds of stuff, like Road
Yeah.
Track presents the Need for Speed. It's not on there. That's too bad. It's a shame.
Yeah, no.
But that's a 3DO game.
That's a
so
3DO game, yeah.
Greg Griffey
Sarblo.
Jr. Oh,
Yeah,
look at
Sarblo
that.
says Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball, Killer Instinct, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Streets of Rage 3, System Shock. Was that on console?
Yeah, it was.
Blackthorn, Doom
Blackthorn.
2, Donkey Kong Country, and Earthbound. There's Earthbound.
Doom 2 was on PC, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would have cut it.
Let's see. It
that
was
a great
better on
list. That was a great
Genesis.
list.
Let's see. I never played the OG Contra. I only played Contra 3. Hey, Alien Wars is great. Alien Wars
Yeah,
is great.
Alien Wars. Yeah, and yeah.
Shout out again to Legendary Yobi. Let's see. John on 79 says, I bet Princess Zelda was a boss at this one.
I was good at the original Contra. I was really good, but then I tried playing it now, and I'm terrible.
These games take practice, just like back in the day.
Yeah, and I can't get away from Dead by Daylight, so I struggle.
I can still hear that NES die noise.
Yeah. The difference is Clowns Gaming Pass and serious question right now. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Splendid Difference says, hell yeah, doggy for the win.
Yeah. Yes.
I don't
Right,
even know
baby.
how to pronounce that game, and I don't know if you're being serious here.
What's that?
Probotector?
Oh no, that's a game.
I was
Yeah,
like 10 years old. I was not
was
going to
a-
buy a game that I could not pronounce.
Oh, what was Probotech? That one's hard. That was like super hard.
Yeah.
That's on that Contra collection too. I can't even
Right.
remember what's like the history. What is that? Like, what's the difference between Probotector and
Well, he says
Hardcore.
Probotector is Contra Hardcore in Europe, just reskinned
Europe.
completely. into
Okay,
different
okay.
games.
I knew it was kind of something. Yeah, it is. Woo! Boy, is that one tough, man. Like,
Yeah.
ouch. Yeah.
Shout out to Zyra QC. Yo. I'm
Yeah, he what's up?
mentally.
Mentally dead.
So I am going to half listen. What going on? Yeah. Hey, thank you
going
so
on?
much. And if you're looking in the background, we want you guys to know you're also the real MVP. We
Yeah,
appreciate each
absolutely,
and every one of you.
Yeah, thanks for chiming in. Thanks for listening, tuning
Mm-hmm.
in, everybody. Chat, you guys are awesome.
All right. Are we ready for the last one on our
Let's
list
go.
today?
What is the last one?
Princess Zelda, have you ever played a little game called Castlevania Bloodlines?
This was a hard game. Simon's Quest 2 is always going to be my favorite. This is this the one where you get to be like two people and then it
Mhm.
changes like
Yeah.
the weapon you have? Okay. I did play this one. I had a hard time with this one. I mean, I love Castlevania and same like Final Fantasy. I love the music, but this one wasn't my favorite. I had a hard time. So I think it was good. Like it was good back then. I wouldn't play it today.
All right, so Princess Zelda started out tough. Great
Yeah,
in
I think
1904, sucks in
realistic about it.
2024. It's all right. It's all right. Fastback, Castlevania Bloodlines.
Great then, not now. I did play this on the collection. And,
Okay.
yeah, I didn't really care for this one.
Also here. All right. Carlo, Castlevania Bloodlines.
Oh, this is tough for me because, I love Castlevania games. I think they were some of the best games back in the day. It really set Capcom apart from a lot of different other publishers. It was just an awesome, awesome series. This was definitely great then, but I don't think I could play it now.
All right. So still in the middle. All right. Okay, so I love this game. I bought this game and it came with a full-size poster map of where you went in. Was it Transylvania? Whatever, right? And I love this game because it shows off a lot of that 3D scaling. It had fantastic sound. The fact that each character had to take different paths because one character could jump higher, so he could go up paths that the other character couldn't. This one, he could use his whip to whip across stuff, and the other character couldn't. So you had to do branching paths, which was awesome for replay value. And it was a fun game. And you know what? Me being a Genesis kid, I was like, yes, finally, this game comes to Sega, and it gets fantastic reviews. Everybody's loving it, and I play it, and it's hard as heck. And I'm like, oh my gosh. And I'm like, but it's great. And I just stuck with it, and I learned. And I come to find out that as I've gotten older, all the Castlevanias are equally difficult.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah.
like I tried playing Rondo of Blood like a week ago, and I couldn't even make it past the first stage. so the fact that I couldn't make it past the first stage on this and just had to practice is Castlevania to me, which means it hasn't lost its formula. But would I play this today? You bet your butt I would play this today. That's why I haven't sold it. I'm keeping it. This one still stays on my log, on my game log rotation. And oh yeah, here's the password system. Pretty awesome.
yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
That was a good little screen to bring up. That I forgot about that.
Doggy, Castlevania Bloodlines. Yeah, this was based more on the
What'd
movie.
you
than
give
the
it?
play.
Did you give it a 2 or you gave it a 3?
I had 3. I give it a 3,
Yeah.
doggy.
What was I?
Don't you discount my vote.
Come on. What am I doing?
Don't you oppress my vote.
Gave it a 1? What?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you guys pretty much covered all. Yeah, he plays John or Eric. One has a spear, one has a whip. So you can traverse different ways. So it's gonna throw you in different parts of the story, give you different ways to go through the game. That was cool. The difference between this one and any of the Castlevanias before, and I think maybe we can go back. It's been mentioned earlier in the show. This one was more fast-paced.
Blast processed
and action oriented, because that's right, because the Genesis, it could do that better and it controlled better and all that stuff. And I mean, really, I mean, just look at this that we're looking at right now. Does that look more action packed than Super Castlevania or Castlevania 3, if you will? Up to the time, no, this one was pretty badass. So to the verdict. Of course, I was gushing about it. So of course it was great back then. Would I play this dinosaur now and enjoy it? Oh, you bet your ass I would. You bet I will. I love it, man. It's Castlevania. You play it if you don't have the Castlevania Anniversary Collection, go play these games. They're all great, because you will realize, somebody said, I don't know if it was Axel, Clowns, I can't remember who said it was, but you will realize these were all tough, man. They were all tough. Like, you're kind of like, how did you even get
the
through
Genesis
these?
wasn't for kids.
Yeah. So even the NES one, like, where you had to make sure you had that holy water, because you wanted that holy water.
Oh man.
You wanted that holy water at the end for Drac. You know what I'm saying? That was you had to have that holy water.
Look and feel more like a Streets of Rage Final Fight.
Right, that's what I'm. But yeah,
no.
That was my biggest thing with that one. It was it seemed faster paced.
Yeah.
Something about it, and of course it had that Genesis control with that 6-button pad. It was just, that was the best controller at the time.
Yeah.
And even the regular Genesis controller was still, and just sports games. You already knew that. They always said sports games played better. The blast process made it faster, even though I know it's probably their buzzword or whatever. But yeah, that's just what it was. Their stuff was, that was their thing. Your games play a little better.
I was 94, I was 19, and my brother was 17, and he was already past, moved on from Nintendo. So yeah, he was already on the Segas.
Because you would play like games like Streets of Rage 2, and you put on Mania mode, and they'd have all those characters on screen, and it'd still handle that. So it was. But anyway, I'm getting off the stuff.
So,
but yeah, that game was more fast paced. So I give it that difference for that.
Yeah.
So what would you? How many points did it get, Doggy?
Oh, I didn't put. Did everybody voted, right?
Yes.
I didn't put my 3. Okay, so we got 6, 9, 12 points out of 5.
12 divided by 4 is 3, so it stays right where it is. Woo! As it should.
Woo! Axel.
That's right. Let's check in with the chat. They got some comments. Let's see. Guys, skill has to be a factor.
I had skill
it was.
then.
We were children. Yeah.
Yeah, I have skilled in with my brother's help, but now no, I don't have his help.
Right?
So
What's
it's
about
harder
the
now.
skill? Guys, skill has to be a factor. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Dave's
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
Carlo. Said Carlo didn't have skill then, and he don't have skill now. No,
Oh, I got
dang.
skill.
we just got different skills. You know, we're already past that type of skills games, right?
Right.
Oh
yeah.
my, oh my.
Yeah, it's like a different age of skills.
Okay, let's see. Bloodlines was innovative on the Genesis for sure. So it was a breath of fresh air for the franchise, and finally not on Nintendo for once. Absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely, yeah.
that's what Genesis was finally starting to pull off. Like they started with Street Fighter, and then they started getting the Contras and the Castlevanias and the Mega Mans, and that's when they started. I mean they even the playing field when they started getting those third party things. So go ahead.
Absolutely.
Sorry.
No, it's all good, bro. It's all good. John 79 says again, not my bag. Hell no, dated game. The music is fantastic in Bloodlines, absolutely.
Yeah,
Castlevanias are notorious to be tough as hell. Yeah. Axel, play Haunted Castle. It's Castlevania arcade game. It's impossible.
Right.
It's meant to eat quarters.
Yeah,
man.
Haunted Castle's tough, man. Yeah, it's tough. I can't remember where I played that here recently. If it's on one of those collections, I know it's on that new collection as like a kind of a remaster. But I haven't played that new collection. What is that called? The Dominus collection or whatever.
Yeah.
But I played that Haunted Castle recently on something. I don't know if I have it on one of these or if it's on a collection. But whatever. Yeah, Haunted Castle's cool. Yeah, it's a good call.
Is that the one that was in Japan where like the castle would?
It was an arcade Castlevania game before Castlevania was Castlevania on the NES.
It's way back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah,
it's
it was
game.
arcade Castlevania before Castlevania was Haunted Castle, like on the NES, but not Haunted Castle. All
right.
Like
Here we go. Let's see. Splendifer says, Sega Genesis, baby. All you crying about being hard. Get your bottles, babies. The Game Complainer says the anniversary collection is always $4.99 on sale. That's a steal. That most of the games are included. Absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. When that's $4.99, hit that up.
It's worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. So officially, the 10 games we rated today. This is the official Iconic Video Games Podcast ranking of the 10 games we rated today. But we have a bunch of games from there that if anybody's played and wants to add in here, we can talk about it. Now this is extra time, so if anybody has to go, I totally understand. But these are sorry, Princess Zelda. Let me zoom in so you can see these.
Did you see me squinting?
I did. So we have Streets of Rage 3, Snatcher, Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2.
Everybody loves to play with this.
Samurai Showdown, Shining Force 2, Mega Bomberman, Dune 2, Battle for Arrakis, Super Bomberman 2, Crusader Senti, Demon's Crest, and Punch Out. So if you want to add one, we'll go down the list. So we'll start with the ladies. Princess Zelda, do you want to add anything? You don't need to. I'm just
Punch Out.
Punch Out. All right, let's throw Punch Out on here. Talk to us about Punch Out, Princess Zelda.
This is one of the most fun games ever. It's great then. It's great now.
All right. Anybody else play Punch Out?
Yes. Punch Out then. Now I played it. Not too long ago online, Nintendo Online. So
now this is Super Punch Out, okay?
Punch Out on the Super Nintendo, which
on the Super Nintendo, not the NES Punch Out, okay?
No, I
not the NES Punch Out.
No, I played it on the Super Nintendo also.
All right.
Yeah.
Carlo, did you play Punch Out?
Yes, I loved all the Punch Outs, and you know what? They're a timeless classic. You can have fun. You had fun with them back then, and you still have fun with them now. So yes, it's great then and great now.
Awesome. I didn't play it, so I got nothing to say. Doggy, Super Punch Out.
Okay, as expected, I did not play this as much as the NES Punch Out because the NES Punch Out was one of the greatest games ever made. One of the most funnest, most addictive. Played through it a million times. It don't matter how good you were, you had to make sure your skills didn't slip, and make sure you could get through all those guys and learn all their. I'm sorry, man, but that game did not even come close to capturing the magic that was Punch Out, Mike Tyson's Punch Out, Mr. Dream's Punch Out, whatever that was on the NES. I'm sorry, man. No, I'm not sorry. Sorry, not sorry, like a Reese's peanut butter cup. The game sucked in 94, and it smokes. Yeah, it sucks now. Yeah. It was a little too hard. Yeah,
Oh, my God.
yeah. I feel.
All right,
I feel.
but that gives
Ah,
it a total of 10 points.
I was taking in my inner clowns right there. Inner
Why
Carlo.
did he do that?
Ah.
Carlo finally gets the game of 3. Or no, he did NBA Jam, but
All right, so there you go.
Okay,
so
I didn't
it gets
write
10
that down.
points, which
Yeah.
leaves it up here in Great 1994, Great in 2024.
Good. Okay, that's cool. I'm
Yeah.
glad.
All right, let's see. Let's check in with the chat here.
Yeah, other games,
Yep, the
chat,
Genesis
whatever.
was great. Absolutely. Super Street Fighter 2 was $69.99 at Caldor. I have no idea what that is. I got it on the SNES. My favorite all-time SNES game, Super Punch Out. Punch Out was dope. Let's see.
Original Punch
This
Out
is
was
the first
dope,
game I
but-
play on my emulator all the time. There you go. So Punch Out was great.
Dude, like, so
All
you
right.
guys think that's better than the Super or than the
no,
original
Mike
Nintendo
Tyson
one?
Punch Out was better.
No.
I agree.
Dude,
Yeah,
yeah, that's
right.
what I'm saying. Dude, that was like,
Fastback. Do you want to talk about any of these games? Again, you don't have to, but if you want to.
I guess was that Super Street Fighter?
Yep, Super
yeah,
Street Fighter 2.
Super Street Fighter
Yeah,
2,
Throw
baby.
that up there.
All right, throwing it
Yeah,
up there. All
absolutely.
right, talk to us about Super Street Fighter 2 because remember, Street Fighter Championship Fighting Edition, we already did. This one came out later.
Yeah, this, yep.
Talk
I
to
don't
us
know if
about
I played this. I mean, I think I played all of them, but I've always enjoyed all Street Fighters. So I think it was great then, but I don't know if it'll be great now.
it. All right.
No.
Okay,
no.
okay.
Sorry,
He
sorry.
didn't.
2
Didn't
points,
need to
2
say
points.
that. He didn't
All
need
right.
to say that.
Princess Zelda, Super Street Fighter 2.
You have me questioning if I've played this one. I feel the same way. I love Street Fighter. I don't know if I've played this version though, so I can't honestly give a fair rating.
Okay. Hold on. Let me pull up videos. Maybe we can find videos on it and see. Take a
Yeah,
look at it.
yeah. Bring up a video.
This
All
wasn't
right.
the one that the one in Japan was the first Street Fighter, and then when it came to the United States, it was
The
two?
Super Street Fighter 2 added the 4 new characters: T-Hawk,
Uh-huh.
Cammy,
Okay. Yeah,
DJ,
yeah. That's the difference.
and Fei Long.
That's this one?
Yeah, yeah. And this also added in the turbo element to it, so you could speed it up. They, you know, so they
Oh
didn't. have to
no,
release
Championship
turbo.
Edition had that. Yeah.
Yeah, Champion Edition, Special Champion Edition had that too to match with Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
Okay, I don't know who recorded this. It's a bad recording, but it's the only one I can find quickly, guys.
That's all right.
So-
Oh.
It's fine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay, so let me go back to the character selection screen. Okay.
Blanca's not green enough.
Yeah.
All right, Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers is what it's
Challengers,
called.
Yep, 4 new challengers. Yep. So now you got
Okay.
16 playable for characters,
It starts. You can do Super. Okay.
or you go
All
Turbo.
right. So here's
Turbo.
Cammy. Here's I don't know who that guy is. Tomahawk, I think was his name.
T-Hawk.
T-Hawk.
T-Hawk. Yep.
I don't know who this guy is.
Fei Long,
Fei Long and where's the
DJ, and Cammy. DJ
fourth?
and
These
Cammy.
two. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
DJ
There you
and
go.
Cammy. Yeah.
All right. So did you play this one, Princess Zelda?
Yes, I did, and it was great then. It's great now.
All right. There you go. That's all she needed to see.
I needed to see that. Yes, the cover threw me.
Ka-chow. All right. Oh yeah,
Right.
and it has the 4
The
new
cover
challenges right
art-
here. Look at that.
Yeah,
Look at the cover.
The cover art was a little
Oh
simple,
man, I
but,
get it now. After
but
30
it gets,
years,
yeah,
I get it. I
gets
get the
point
cover.
across.
Oh
Right,
my
yeah.
gosh, I feel so dumb that it took me 30 years to get that cover.
Yeah.
That's
All
awesome.
right, Carlo, Super Street Fighter 2.
Yes, great then, great now, and Blanca was the best in that edition. I used to electrocute everybody with Blanca nonstop.
Yeah, he was.
Oh,
super
that's
good in this,
great.
yeah.
That was great.
All right, so up here too. All right. I never played Super Street Fighter 2. I stopped at Championship Edition, so I can't say anything. Doggy, Super Street Fighter 2.
Yeah. Okay, so we're doing the Genesis version then, right? So we're just talking Genesis or just any of the versions,
Just
or-
Super Street Fighter 2 because they'd also released on the Super Nintendo.
Right. So what I was going to say though is by this time, the Genesis version, they actually got the voices down pretty good. This version on the Genesis, I loved it so much. It played so good with that 6-button pad. It looked good. I don't know if you got the Genesis version here, but it looked
This is the
Almost-
Genesis version, yeah.
it looked almost as
Now
good.
my
You
Ken's
could
outfit
see
is green.
you could see that the color palette was, 64 colors on screen instead of 256. I get you. But man, did they make the most out of all of it. The voices were all there. Maybe a little like they were sounded like they were underwater, but it didn't matter. No, this played so great. I love this. I own this version. I own this and the Super Nintendo version. That's where I was at with arcade games at that time. I was just like addicted to having these and wanted to play. Loved it. The Genesis version was the go-to version for me. Like I said, it didn't even really look any worse, that much worse than the Super Nintendo version. It was all there. So yeah, great back then. Iconic back then. You know it's still iconic now. Yeah.
All right, so that's 10 points again. So it stays right where it's at. All right, let's see. So that was Fastback. Carlo, if you have anything you want to talk about, you don't have to. I'm just saying.
Oh, man, there's something there we got to talk about, man. There is something there we got to talk about. It's Streets of Rage 3.
All right, throw Streets of Rage 3 on there. Talk to me about Streets of Rage 3, Carlo.
Oh, Streets of Rage in general, the whole series was excellent. Streets of Rage 3 really, really was a lot of fun. I used to play that all the time. It was so good. It was great then, and today, to me, it is still great. I can go in there and play it and still feel the same like I was a little kid playing that all over again. Plus, they really knew how to make the female characters. They look really cool to me for a female protagonist, heroes. It just
Blaze was sweet, wasn't she? Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was good. I've got no complaints about this on any aspect.
No, yeah.
Absolutely. All right, so there you go. It starts over here. Let me pause for a second to read the chat, guys. Sorry. Let's see.
Yeah, hit it up. Yeah.
Let's see. Is Earthward Jim on the list? Did that release in 94? I don't think it did.
So
I don't know if it did or didn't.
That was probably 93, I bet.
Yeah.
Or 90. Yeah, we would have saw that looking through that list. I don't see what.
It says October 1994. Yeah, he's right.
Man, okay. Okay.
Yeah, it's not on the list, but
Well, there you go. Yeah, we can go ahead and throw it up there on the.
We can if we have time.
Scraps.
There's so many games we can't rate every game from 1994.
Right? No, yeah, but we got a couple of us still have a choice, so you can throw it on this.
Yeah, let me put. You know what? Let me just save it how it is to save time.
Thank you, chat.
All right. So let's see.
Good choice too.
Are you mad, Fastback? Street Fighter 2, Super Street Fighter 2 is the GOAT. That gen. There you go.
Yeah, dude, it did. It played the best. Like it was like they had perfected it at that point in time. It was like a 32 meg cart. It was like the biggest cartridge they could do at the time. Yeah. So no, Super Street Fighter 2 was pinnacle. It was.
Let's see. RWK88, thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. Appreciate you. And of course, shout out to Melfman. Thank you so much for being here. You are the real MVP. What's up, Axar? I acknowledge you as the great podcast host. That's right. Everybody put it up. I acknowledge me. That's right. John, 909, 3DO version was the best. If you can afford a 3DO, sure.
What's
All
that?
Right, so back to Streets of Rage.
Version of Super Street Fighter?
Yeah. Back to Streets of Rage 3. Sorry, doggy.
No, it's go ahead. I could go into a whole
Yeah, you could go all day about Street Fighter. Yeah, I know you can, bro. Princess Zelda, did you play Streets of Rage 3?
I did not.
Okay, so no vote. Carlos, this is your game. Fastback, Streets of Rage 3.
I'm not sure if I played it. I love Streets of Rage games, but I'm not sure if I played the third one.
Okay. I played the crap out of this game. Streets of Rage is one of my favorite franchises of all time. I know that the music was probably not as good as Streets of Rage 2, but you know what? It was still the best beat 'em up music in the world. I mean, every beat, every soundtrack on this, you could beat someone up to. That's just the way it is, right? The graphics I thought were impressive, even better than Streets of Rage 2. The fighting, the combos, I mean, just everything was better than Streets of Rage 2, and it was everything I loved. It continued the awesomeness that was Streets of Rage franchise, which is known for putting out nothing but the best beat 'em ups in the market, which still stands true today. So when I played Streets of Rage 3 was awesome then with my little brother. It's awesome now with anybody. So yeah, it's still one of the GOATs. Doggy, Streets of Rage 3.
Oh my god, man! I love this series. Like, this is kind of like at the Alice in Chains, if you will, of video game franchises. They've never made a bad. Alice in Chains never made a bad song, as long as Lane Staley, Jerry Cantrell had anything to do with it. Never made a bad song. Streets of Rage, never been a bad game, baby.
Never.
I'm telling you, I don't know. You could play. I could play through these a million times and just never get tired of them. This one wasn't as great to me as Streets of Rage 2, but that's like not fair, because Streets of Rage 2 was one of the best games ever created, right? So I mean, but this one's right knocking on the door. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
if Streets of Rage 2 was a 100, this is like a 95.
like, and you'd see how many hours, like we were looking at that last night. You saw how many hours I put in Streets of Rage 4. You know, like I love playing through that thing a bunch of times. I mean, it's just, I love these games, love these beat 'em ups. The more characters, the merrier on the screen. Yeah, so of course I thought it was great back then, and of course I think it's great now. And while I'm talking, what I was going to say earlier about Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the 3DO, yeah, it looked. And that's one of the reasons I wanted to get a 3DO, because I thought, yes, it's going to get the definitive edition of Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, right? They didn't have scrolling backgrounds, right? So when your characters moved, it's like you were moving and there was a painting behind you. Like you just had a flat, like, you know how most fighting games scroll and the background scrolls? This was like you were just moving and there was a painting behind you. Like it just had the
a static background.
Yeah, it didn't have it. Yeah. The 3DO, for as expensive as it was, it had a problem with doing that. And you had that controller, and that controller wasn't it didn't have 6 buttons. You know what I'm saying? So like it was handicapped in that too. But it was a cool version. It's one of the reasons I wanted 3DO. I mean, it did do it. But it had loading times too. That was the other problem with fighting games back then. But off the subject, I just wanted to talk about that real quick. But yeah, Streets of Rage 3. I mean, you can't go wrong. Like I said, you throw me a Streets of Rage game, let's play. Let's go.
Let's do it. All right.
Yeah.
And John on the 79. No, I did not have a 3D. I was poor. I only had one console.
Oh yeah, and that was $700 for that. Ugh.
Yeah, no, screw that. Ugh. All right. Who are we up to? Dougie, we're up to you, buddy. Do you want to talk about anything here?
Let's see, what do we got here? Let's kind of scroll them in here. I know we got Samurai Showdown. I can't tell what this one is.
Snatcher, Samurai Showdown, Shining Force 2, Mega Bomberman, Dune 2 Battle for Arrakis, Super Bomberman 2, Crusader Senti, and Demon's Crest. You don't have to pick anything if you don't want to.
No, what somebody should have picked was the Road and Track presents the Need for Speed for the 3DO. That should be the game that's up there. And if nobody's played it here, let's not talk about it. But if somebody's played it, you will agree with me. It was a great racing game back then. So that's just my weird little pick that got left off. Yeah.
Need for Speed. Wow.
Road and Track presents the Need for Speed, and it can't be the PS2 version because it stunk. And it came out after the one for the 3DO. The 3DO one was so good. The sense of speed.
That's a 3DO game. We don't need to talk about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Just move on if nobody's talked about it. These games right here, I would have to say, if I had to pick one of them, Samurai Showdown was cool, but it didn't do it. Like it was.
I added Earthworm Jim. There we go. Okay.
What do we got? What's this new one?
Earthworm Jim.
Earthworm Jim. If I talked about one, I'd be Samurai Showdown. It was pretty cool. But when you really it paled in comparison really to the SNK version. It didn't have like, that was what's cool about one of the cool things about Samurai Showdown is how when you got closer, everything got real big and then it scaled out and stuff. This didn't do that. Of course, it was missing a lot of the violence to it and stuff, but it was still fun for the time. So if I had to give it something, I'd give it, that sucked. It sucked all around. It sucked all around. So there you go.
It sucked all around. All right. So Doggy picked a game that sucked. All right, throwing it down there.
I picked something. All
right. It wasn't Princess Zelda Samurai Showdown.
Never played it.
All right. Fastback Samurai Showdown.
Did not play it.
Did not play it. All right.
See how it doesn't scale? See, it just looks so trash, man. Like, what were you guys doing?
Carlo, Samurai Showdown.
This was one of those games when I played it. The first couple times I played it, I liked it, and then I was like, "Why do I even like this game? This game's terrible." So,
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Doggy.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I like so Samurai Showdown. I mean, they're good fighting games. So I never understood the whole hype over it. Like, oh, this is so great. Yeah, like it. I don't know. It just
To me, they felt very generic. Like they kind of like attracted you at first based on the graphics back then, but then when you actually played it more than once, it was like very generic feeling. It just looked like
that was the problem with this one. See, it even looks more generic because it didn't even do what Samurai Showdown was known for in the arcades, where it kind of scaled in when you got close and everything got real big, and you were fighting up close and it'd scale back. This is just scaled back and it just looks cheap. I mean, it's
like a Street Fighter wannabe.
Yeah, and it's a slow Street Fighter wannabe, like it's bad, and then it's trying to talk to you in Japanese, like and all this stuff. He poon, he, it's
all
like,
right. So Carlo, keep going.
sucked then, sucks now, and should be removed from the archive of games on the internet.
All right,
that was a little more rougher than I said, but
I've never played it, so that's 2 for 2 down there, so it stays down there. All right,
I picked a good one there, didn't I?
So there's so many games I could talk about with my Genesis. I could talk about Shining Force, Doom 2, Battle for Arrakis, Crusader Ascenti. Oh my gosh, so many great games. But I want to talk about. I'm going to go with Crusader Ascenti, the Zelda of the Genesis.
That's awesome. I love this.
Right, so let me get my long play ready for this one because man, it's a long game. So hold on, Crusader of Ascenti.
I'm ready to hear Axel talk about this. This is going to be a good story.
Yeah. So there we go. Pull this one up. So Crusader Ascenti is basically the action RPG for the Genesis, akin to Zelda. But nobody played it, and I don't know why. This game is awesome. So in this game, you capture animals, like mythical animals, and each one of them gives you a different ability, right? So it's almost like Pokemon before Pokemon even existed, right? And to begin the game, you lose your ability to understand people. And so one of your little animal buddies that you capture lets you talk to animals. So instead of talking to people, you start off talking to animals, and they tell you what they overheard. But it's really based on like, this person's supposed to feed me. They said they were going to feed me, but they haven't. It's so funny like that. So you start off like that. You can pick which animals you want to. After a while, you get your understanding of English back, but then like your vision goes out, and instead of like watching the whole world here, it's almost like being in an underground dungeon with a flashlight, because you get like tunnel vision because you can only see what your animals see, and it's so cool, and it's just like this amazing little like Zelda-esque game, and each animal lets you do something different. So my personal favorite is the one that lets me throw my sword, made with the ice one, because I can throw my sword and freeze the bad guys. It's so cool that all of that happens. And the game is not straightforward at all. Like it's not a big area. The overworld is not big, but there's so much in each little area. It's so fun. So Crusader Ascenti to me was a fantastic combination of like Zelda and Pokemon put together before they were a thing. Who knows? Maybe Pokemon got their idea from this game. Just saying.
Dude,
Just saying.
This looks fun. Like
and it's so different than anything else that was on the Genesis at the time. Like nothing is on there. And by the way, if you play this game, 100% emulate it because you cannot afford it.
It definitely doesn't look.
Just throwing it out there.
It doesn't look Sega Genesis style, right? Like
there was just nothing else on the Genesis that looked like this.
Wow.
And it was so fun. It was so fun. Like, I just have nothing but good memories of it. So, Crusader Ascenti, would I play it back? Did I love it back then? Yeah. Would I love it now? Absolutely. That's why I still have it. So for me, it is a great 1994, great in 2024. Princess Zelda. Did you ever play Crusader Ascenti?
I never even heard of it until today, and it looks and sounds amazing.
It does, right?
It does.
Yeah, no, this game is so fun. And each, like, how you find like Like, oh, you found the bombs and you found this and that. On Zelda, nope, you found an animal that lets you punch bombs, punch rocks, and
I
all
love it.
this stuff. Like the animals power you up. It's so cool. It's so cool. Fastback, Crusader of Senti.
Never played it, but I would have loved to.
All right. Carlo, did you ever play Crusader of Senti?
I have not. Never played it, so I can't give a rating.
All right. Dougie, I know. Did you ever play this one?
What happened if you messed up on the like that dude just did a puzzle where he's moving blocks? Like, what would happen if you messed that up? Like,
It doesn't trigger.
Will it reset for you? Like, will it like?
No, like you won't be able to ignite it. It won't trigger.
Yeah, but how does the blocks move back? Like, you would like.
What would happen if you messed up the block movement?
Yeah.
Yeah, you walk away and come back. It resets.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played this. Of course, we were talking about this last night. But man, and we didn't even really like spending time like watching or anything. You just kind of told me you told me about it and how cool it was and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But watching this now, man, and I know I'm not getting. You're not going to go on eBay and get this because what we saw is like what $500,
$500. Yeah.
Yeah, $1,500, like something like that. It was stupid. No, this looks so fun. But I didn't play it, so I can't really put my score on it.
All right. So rules are rules.
But wow, that looks so cool. Like
Yeah.
for a game I've never seen. Like you said, it just doesn't look. It looks Nintendo. This just doesn't look.
Yeah.
But that's what That's what Sega did. That's what Sega did for every
And so
game.
see, he's changing the animals there. Like, hold on, let me see. Let me pause it for a second, Doggy. Hold on. Let me pause it real quick. All right. So see, he's changing animals, right? Make walking speed double. Leviathan, make swing speed double, right? And then he picks a different one here. Does he do it so
man,
fast?
this looks cool. Man.
Stop
I love
moving.
that.
It was something about stop
Yeah.
moving. I didn't catch it. Sorry.
That even looked Zelda-ish, where he went through they had the tiles and
So this game is just so.
Is this a Sega title?
So it was made by. Hold on a second. Give me a second. So it was made by Atlas.
So it was Sega. So
it was made by Atlas and published by Sega. It was
Sega.
part of their 5 RPGs that they wanted to do. So Legend of Oasis and those other games. It was one of those 3, or one of those 5. So yeah,
that's what you had. That's the one thing, man. Sega. That's what you had to get them credit for. Like, okay, they might not have got the Final Fight right, but they had Streets of Rage. They might not have got Final Fantasy, but they brought you Phantasy Star. You might not have got Zelda, but you got this game. You you might not got Mario, but you got Sonic, and their studios were so creative. Like you need Mega Man, but you got Vector Man. Sorry for the sake of love, but this is cool. This is cool. I definitely missed out on this. This is definitely a game I would have loved back then. So I wish I could have voted on that. Great pick.
Yes. All right. So rules are rules. It stays right where it's at.
It deserves
and I think this show has gone on long enough.
Yeah, we're good.
But real quick, where would you guys put? Earthworm Jim was requested. Dougie, real quick, where would you put it?
Earthworm Jim?
Just the results.
I didn't really play Earthworm Jim that much, so count me out. Count me out of that. Count me out of that one.
Cut you out of that one. Princess Zelda, Earthworm Jim.
I would think it was great then. I probably wouldn't play it now.
Okay. Fastback, Earthworm Jim.
Yeah, great then, not now.
Carlo, Earthworm Jim.
Great then, great now.
Oh, okay. And I actually think it sucked then, and it still sucks now. Like I never liked it.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, I would have went that route if I.
Yeah. So I've never liked it. So let's see. So it was 1 + 2 + 2 + 3 divided by 3.
It's an acquired taste game for sure.
Yeah. So it stays in the middle. There you go.
John 907i. I had a 3DO. I got one like on launch. It came with Twisted, the game show. It came with Pebble Beach Golf, and Crash and Burn. And then I had, and I got Samurai Showdown, Way of the Warrior, Super Street Fighter. I had a bunch of games for it. Yeah, yes. For 3DO, it was expensive, but
it was.
I had it.
All right, guys. Well, that's it. That's it for the games of 1994. And super shout out to the amazing, the incredible Princess Zelda for joining us. Woo! Thank you so much for dropping by.
Thanks for having
we
me.
appreciate every time you drop by.
Yeah, Princess Zelda, you're a legend. You know.
Yes.
So
Oh,
yeah,
so
thank
are
you
you.
for
course.
joining us. We love you so much. You know
We love
that. You
you.
know that. You know that. If you don't know that, you know that. Hey, we're not. I know you.
And of course, shout out to our special guests, both of them, Fastback and Carlo. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Fastback,
Oh,
tell
thank
them where
you.
they can find you.
You can find me on Xbox as Fastback6768, and anytime I get an invite from Axel in game. So I think this is my first time on Iconic.
Yeah, this is your first time on
Yeah,
Iconic.
so
Yeah,
it's
And
cool.
he-
Yeah, I appreciate the invite. Yeah.
thank
And
you so much.
he is also he is no don't get it don't get him wrong. He is also
Oh,
a retro renegade.
Retro Renegades.
Right, he's a renegade.
Yeah.
All right,
he's
sorry,
also
Dad. Thanks for reminding me.
Yeah, he is a retro renegade. So you can find him
Yeah, anytime.
find
you know.
every Tuesday night
Every Tuesday.
at 8 Eastern time. Wait, 7 Eastern time. I'm sorry. I was
7,
thinking of
yeah.
the show. 7 Eastern time every Tuesday.
All right, and Carlo, tell the people where they can find you.
You can find me on 4GQ TV.
All right, everything for
There you
GQ.
go.
Guys, there you go.
Said.
All right. With that being said, guys, again, we wouldn't be able to do this show without you guys, the chat, and that's why you guys, the chat, will always be the MVP to any of the shows here on the Iconic Video Games channel. With that being said, we are going to go ahead and get out of here. I'm Axel1324,
I'm Princess Zelda.
I'm Doggy Dog 420.
and we'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.